Good enough. We're good. All right. Audio is back. Sorry. My apologies, guys. We were awaiting some initial jobless claims numbers there. 198,000 versus 206,000 on the weekly jobless claims numbers for last week in the U.S. So a little bit lower than expected, which is always a good thing. We'll have a look at the overall market here. As I mentioned, you didn't hear me, but we are positive to start things off. Fresh record high for the Dow yesterday. S&P and the NASDAQ relatively unchanged on the day. Tech did pull back yesterday, but some of the retail-focused stocks were back in positive territory, also at record highs for a lot of them, including Domino's Pizza, McDonald's, Yum Brands, Costco, to name a few, all with big days yesterday. So we'll have a look at maybe some retail stocks coming up here. 2 days to go here, 2 sessions to go for the year. And then we'll wrap things up. Biogen back to the downside. Yeah, Samsung Group, they're not interested apparently in buying Biogen. If you joined us yesterday afternoon, that was a pretty exciting move for BIIB. Lucid getting an upgrade or initiation once again from Citigroup. We'll talk about that. And chip makers back under pressure for the second day in a row. It's Thursday, December 30th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. Yeah, there we go. Look at how things stand at this point. Slightly higher on the day overall, 0.1% for all 3 U.S. markets. TSX futures into positive territory as well. Brazil's open, trading higher. Crude back to the downside today. Yeah, nice bounce for Bitcoin and Ethereum after a multi-day slide. So we'll see if we can't extend some of those gains. Good morning, guys. We made it to Thursday. It's almost New Year's coming up tomorrow. Obviously, another relatively quiet start to the session here. We are positive, but only just, yeah. So as we maybe hinted at yesterday, if you joined us in the afternoon, yeah, Samsung's not interested in buying Biogen. So back to earth a little bit here for BIIB this morning.
There we go. We'll go all business here. We'll do our tuck in our do up our top button here. Yeah, look, Biogen. We talked about that yesterday, and we had to wait until I thought it was a good buy. I can't even speak with this. I thought it was a good buy, Biogen, yesterday on that news. And, you know, they went down here. Let's get their daily chart up. I thought, you know, there's not too many big biotech pharma names or biotech names, sorry, that you can buy anymore as you go. There's a few other names that are out there, but you've seen Allergan. Now you're going to see BIIB. But yeah, down 6.8% as they come out yesterday and report that, hey, that's not what we're doing and we're not thinking about this. But, you know, sometimes when there's smoke, there's fire. And I just think, like, you know, down into this range, this is a good buy no matter what. I think it draw a lot of people's eyes over to this name. And we're just going to see where it goes from here. But yeah, Biogen yesterday, the big move was boom right there and then settled down and people believed it. And why not? I still think it could happen. It's only 6.8%, right? So if you take that rumor out yesterday, then you probably are 236. And then it gets a nice little bump up. Anybody that bought in here, I think you'll be fine. The stock will come back. You know, this is a good name, solid name. I like the stock, so I don't think there's any problem with that. And then even if you were a shareholder and now you're disappointed, well, it's only back down 6%. So you get a nice bump up here of about 10% or so, or yeah, 240 up to 260. So, you know, you grab 20 bucks on 200 and then it pulls back a little bit. You're still up net over net since 2 o'clock yesterday. So I think it's a good win for Biogen shareholders here. And although obviously you would have liked to see the deal get done, like I said, sometimes where there is smoke, there is fire. And I bet you another bidder comes in here if it's up for sale at all. But hey, that's going to be a good win here. I like it. It puts the name back in the public's mind. We're talking about it now. So, hey, it's a win for Biogen. Only coming back down this much isn't that bad. Let's just wait to see where we go. We're still higher than we were. I think this is a buy. I think you could buy it on potential takeover rumors.
Well, surprise, surprise. When it popped yesterday, I went for the short, and it kind of went sideways. I was like, okay, we'll deal with it tomorrow. And we come in today, well, look at that. Sure, that would have been a nice $20 winner if you held it overnight. But hey, here we are again, looking for another short. And I think it's going to have to be around that 240 mark. So For now, it's trading above 240. It's trading at 240.5. The spread is, it's not too bad. It's for surprisingly not too bad. It's only 30 cents or so at the moment. But there's a decent amount of volume being done around 240, and I think I'm going to keep a very close eye on that. And if we end up underneath it, I'm going to go for the short. Sean's right, absolutely. At some point, there could be another buyer stepping in, or this could be, let's deny this for now and come back later and say, you know what, we changed our minds. We're going to go ahead with the deal at some point in the future. But for now, based on the way it's moving, I'm going to keep an eye on that 240, maybe go for the short. Futures are moving back towards 92. We're getting higher and higher as we get back towards those 98 highs. 47.98 is the all-time high, and then 4,800 sitting right there. So that could be done today if we get another 8 points out of this market. This market has the juice to do it. Even though it's quiet, it does have the juice to do it. As I'm talking, though, ISIG going absolutely nuts to the upside. I'm keeping a close eye on this 29 even level going into 30. That's what I want to kind of participate with as ISIG is going absolutely nuts to the upside.
I just want to clarify something here. So, look, we would love to add, a third spot to our rotation. So it could be Neil, myself, and Arun. But Arun is a busy dude, man. The guy works for Day Trade the World. He's here as a trader. We're so happy to have him fill in for us. And, if the show does expand, obviously, Arun would be one of the #1 guys on our list. But the guy's a busy dude. This is not what he's built to do, I don't think, for himself. I think he is. But, he likes to do his own thing. So we're super, super happy to have Arun on board. And he's been an absolutely fantastic stand-in and will continue to be, as far as I know, for the, life of the show. I'd hope so anyways. And Neil's back in the seat tomorrow. And I just think it's been such a great, pleasure and I was going to say honor, but I don't want to get all gushy here. But, we learn a lot from each other, and I learn a lot from Arun, and I think you guys have as well. And we're going to keep, obviously, our relationship open. And Arun will be back here every day, hopefully, to do the future. Not hopefully, time willing. Yeah. We'll be here to do the futures for you guys every single day, and maybe we can throw them in, here and there if there's anything important. But a big thank you to Arun one more time. So thanks for coming through. And your last day hopefully will be a momentous one, but we need the market to do something.
Absolutely. Arun and his BlackBerry. Told you guys I'll bring it in today. Yeah. Arun and his BlackBerry. Last time you'll see me I think for a little bit there, at least 2021 for sure. And Neil's back. You guys are back at full strength, heading into the last day of the year. Hopefully some excitement today. It doesn't look that great, but there's some things moving. We'll keep an eye on those as Brendan's going to go through them. And then tomorrow, Neil, Sean, Brendan back at full strength. So, it'll be good to have you guys back in full strength and closing the year off, right? I think that's a great thing to have.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a while, but always great to have Arun in the building. Yeah, you mentioned Arun, ISIG going nuts here, just broke 29 on huge volume. There's also that Reliance as well, another one that's getting a lot of attention from retail investors still. So RELI just picking back up on volume, already 3 million on the day. So we'll watch ISIG. We'll watch RELI right now. Miss V is in the building. Let's say good morning.
Good morning, team. Happy trading to you all. I wish you a wonderful day. Please enjoy the show and the day, and don't forget to like this video. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Yeah, lots to discuss here, guys, as we get through to the second last, I almost said the last, second last trading session of 2021. So we come into this headline this morning of weekly jobless claims a little bit lower than expected, so positive for the overall market. A lot of people still talking COVID this morning. There's also this Biogen that we mentioned, Samsung Group not necessarily interested in Biogen at this point anyways. But I wanted to mention this right out of the gate because we've been talking about Tesla over the past couple of days anyways here. Arguably the biggest Tesla fan here, Kathy Wood, selling more Tesla shares yesterday. So it comes out 27,885 Tesla shares, or about 30 million worth coming off the books for ARK.
Yeah, look, I don't know. Remember, we talk about this with Kathy Wood all the time, that she's an active manager. So we have to expect her to be in and out of the names that she trades. I mean, that's the MO there. You want to manage fund, you pay the 0.75 or whatever it is to get into ARK. I'm in ARK now as well at some of these levels. And so it's not a surprise here that she's going to go ahead and manage her position. So I don't, oh man, like I got to edit this. Let me let me just edit this out here. I want to get, let me see if the 20-minute chart looks a little bit better before I edit out that wick. Oh man, that's too bad. Oh, might not even be good on this one either, guys. This is bad, but okay, here we go. This is the level that I'm really concerned about. Obviously 1070, we're bouncing off there again today, possibly. I think this news is a little bit worse on the recall side of things. Forget about Tesla and Cathie Wood. I mean, I don't think her selling or buying shares is really going to influence this market. We've seen Elon Musk dump billions of dollars of shares into this market on Tesla. So I don't think her, what was it, 27,000 shares or something like that? Obviously, it's a big get, but it's not huge. We're already done, 300,000 shares. This thing will do millions of shares today. So that's not going to be that big, but it does sort of hurt the, I guess, people's opinions and feelings on the stock when you do get a big head like her in there selling. So for me, I wrote down on the sticky note that I'm not too interested in 1070. I kind of expect that to break. And even if it does, how many dollars are in that? Yesterday, we broke 1070, went to 1064. So we went down $4 or $5 off that, right? And then we started to rip right back to the upside. I'm more interested if this news is something serious and we get a pullback in the NASDAQ, then maybe Tesla breaches this 1060 area. This is an area of concern for me right now into 1060. So if we can break out through here, I already have a short set up. I know it's $25 or $15 from here, but I have the short ready to go. I'm going to punch it through 1060. If it holds, then we'll get out almost right away. But the idea is to go short there. The 1070 is also very interesting. It held in the pre-market, so that's a level that we can look at for Tesla as well. Again, the daily chart I'll have to fix. It's not going to be much help. But if you like the long, you have a lot of support here. For me, that's not a great story today on the 300 or 450,000 shares, or sorry, cars recalled there. And it's not a big issue, right? It's something with the wire harnesses in the trunk. So I don't think it's a big deal, but at the same time, it's a negative story. And Tesla has been wanting to go down here, guys. A nice little move, but you could see higher, lower, 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 lower. So let's see where Tesla goes here today. I still think we break that 1070, but I'd rather get it with severe momentum to the downside and look at that 1060 break.
Same levels. We talked about it yesterday, and it's the same levels today. This is the daily. I started looking at 1075. We cracked that yesterday, but Sean's absolutely right with that 1060 area. That's where you've got to kind of break to the downside to open things up. And it seems to be like there's some support pretty much from, we're at 86 right now. No, we're not at 86. That's not right now. We're at 73 right now. 86 was the closing price yesterday. And we're down here inside of this the tail of this yesterday's candle. We still got some space to the downside, another 10 points or so before we have to worry about this 60 going. But for now, it does look like there's some support down here. So be open to the idea of a potential pop right off the open in the event that we catch a bid in the support zone. That's what I'd be worried about. Again, I don't trade Tesla, so I'm just kind of giving my color on it. But at $1,000, you guys know the story with me and shares that are priced in that range. But I am looking at Rely.
Yeah, why not?
It's at 750 now. We're getting higher and higher towards those overnight highs here around 779, it looks like, 780. So that's something I'm keeping an eye on, as well as BIIB I talked about, and then ISIG backing off that 29. So I want to see what it does at 28, and maybe we might be able to pick something up in the event that 28 gives us a nice little bid there. But for now, Tesla's a no-go, but we do have 3 other stocks that could potentially be setting up before we get to the open.
All right, a little bit of positivity here, guys, for Kroger. Real quick on the retail side of things, we've been discussing positive moves the past couple of days. You can see KR, 4 days to the upside. So they just authorized a $1 billion, that's notional, I guess, share repurchase program for KR. So Costco, HD, all of the other bigger names in the group higher yesterday. That was really the only reason the market was even remotely positive on the day, was because of some of these retail stocks. So Kroger getting a nice bump here.
Yeah, actually that was one of our discussions yesterday on our terminology when we talked about share buybacks, right? And so here comes Kroger again, spending some cash on their own float. So buying back some shares, repurchasing those shares back into their portfolio and just owning more of the company. And we like when a company does that. It shows strength, but it also kind of shows that maybe they don't have anywhere to put their money. Like, maybe they could be investing it into their online. Maybe we don't have Kroger here in Canada, so I'm not too familiar with their offering other than, looking at a stock and just checking it out, that it's not really doing a whole hell of a lot. Obviously, the retail bump's been here. We talked about that. It was going to be a strong Christmas. I believe that's what happened anyways. You're going to see Macy's come out with good numbers as well. I like when companies repurchase shares. Makes a lot of sense to me, so I'm not the only one buying. It's nice when the company is also stepping in there, spending some of their cash, repurchasing shares. So I like Kroger here. I think it works, and I don't know if it's the best of the best. Like I said, I always look to go to Target here. Target's been such a great, mover in 2020 and 2021, but has faded here in the third, fourth quarters. So we can see Target kind of making this. Oh, that's not. Come on. Target has, you're going to see the same thing. Target's faded out here in the last little while, but starting to make a bottom now at this 220 and then a nice little run up. But this is the run we're talking about in 2021. Just a monster move up for Target. 165 up to 265 clean. Like, that's an amazing move up. You don't even get that many pullbacks there, but it does break the 50 period, breaks it again. So we're well off on Target, but if you're going to take a shot on the retail spot, I like Target more than Walmart, but I like Macy's the best.
Kroger, it is entering a nice little zone that we can potentially fade. I understand it's at 45.55 right now. It's trading up here. And look what we have right above us around that 46 going all the way up to 48. So the next $2.50 to the upside, we've got some resistance going back to late September. So we've checked it in September, early September, late August. So September, August has been a problem. And then it looks like early December, mid-December has been a problem in this same price point, and here we are once again. So I'm going to potentially look to fade, but it's got to be done after the open because, well, the open's going to determine whether we have enough buy-side volume to keep this momentum. We've moved from 44, it looks like 44.80 or something around that price range, all the way up now, or we're up a good 50 cents. If we can maintain that after the open, then we got to sidestep this move on the short side. But if we lose the momentum, I think you come in, fade the move to the upside, and you put the 48 stop and see if we can't get a move back down towards maybe 43 or so. But that's, I think, the idea on Kroger. And it has to set up, and there's so many conditions attached to it. It's got to set up, it's got to open, it's got to be there's got to be some volume, a lot of things. So keep an eye on it, but I don't think it's ready to go just yet.
All right, let's discuss a little higher level stuff here. Rahim Alani joining us for the final time, Managing Director of OCI Groups here in Toronto, for the final time in 2021.
You scared me for a second.
No. Just this year. It's fine. For the final time of the year, we're going to discuss, it's been a crazy year. We were just sitting here talking about what's to come possibly next year. So maybe before we get into that, let's talk about how 2021 is kind of shaping up here, because I mean, we've been saying all week, it's a 23, 24% kind of year for the S&P. It doesn't really feel like that.
No, it's felt like a year where things have been up, things have been down. You felt like you had a great trade one day, and then all of a sudden the trade went the exact opposite way. I've sat here listening to Sean and Neil on several trades, and just like in an instant, things can move. We were just talking about one of the mining spiders where that was up 83%, and it didn't feel like. Yeah. It felt like some days you could be up 150% and then down 32%, but on balance. A lot of things were up on the commodity side for sure, and in some of the tech names as well. So.
Yeah, definitely a positive year overall. Let's talk what is to come. Maybe, I mean, COVID obviously still a thing. There's the vaccine angle here. From a Canadian perspective, what do we look at?
I think the way, overall, you've got to look at the relief measures that are coming, vaccines, like we all talk about, how's that going to affect jobs, how's that going to affect a lot of things. A couple of different slants that we've looked at for this is everyone's moved a lot on the online space for shopping. And that's great, and for their banking and for a lot of things, which is wonderful. But now what that relates to is cybersecurity, payments, decentralized finance. So how does that relate onto the tech side? So there's a lot of great Canadian tech companies that we have talked about, and that more to come. So I think that's going to be an initial thing to look at for sure.
So we'll keep that in mind as a group going forward. I mean, we've talked in depth about the mobile payment side of things and how that has absolutely gone crazy this year because of COVID. The other aspect is going to be demand for not only goods but energy as well as we head into 2022. What do we expect? I mean, obviously we're getting out our crystal balls here to have a look at, do we get back to travel? Do we get back to higher demand for energy?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think no one's got that answer. I think, 3 months ago we sat here and we said, okay, now's the time, COVID's in theory dying down and everyone's going to get back on planes. And airline stocks all jumped on that premise. Those have all curtailed again because of what's happening in the world. So it just depends on which way you view the world is going to go. If you view that in the new year, people will figure out ways to travel, whether it's by car, by air, all of those things will sort of one begets another. That gets into hotels, that gets into airlines, that gets into all those places. So it just really how you view that. And the fact that most analysts out there are predicting oil to be in the $100 to $135 range probably means that people are going to start using energy again. And because energy is predicated on a supply issue, it's just up to OPEC and what they want to do. If OPEC decides to curtail again, that again moves energy prices. So you've seen a lot of small cap energy names really move on an accelerated basis, and they've all been 200, 300, 400% returns on some of the smaller names. And there's a bunch more to come, I think, that as energy grows and people are putting money back into the ground, as it were, and into share buybacks, like Sean said. But that's one of the places that we think energy will start to move into the positive direction. And
another one of those charts, if you look at it, on a daily time frame or even a weekly time frame, I mean, it's quietly had a really good year.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely going to be worth a watch going into 2022. The other aspect is we've discussed inflation, more of a problem, obviously, on a global basis than we've seen, in the past couple of decades. This country not as bad as the U.S. right now, but what do we see as far as, maybe opportunities to come on that front?
Well, that's another great point that people are starting to try to figure out. Just if you go to your grocery store, you're paying X% more for things that you would have normally not paid that much for. So inflation definitely is a concern. The U.S. is steamrolling into inflation. There's going to be efforts to curtail that, and that's already started. Canada's, again, like you said, not as bad. So that's going to affect banks as they try to leverage around interest rates and how they can curtail that. So there's going to be some stuff happening with interest rates at banks, we think, and how that affects bank stocks. And then the bigger thing here being in Canada is how do you view gold as a hedge against inflation? So some people view it as a hedge, and if you do, Canada is a great place for mining stocks.
And if we do get, I'm very interested to see, if we get an improvement on the supply chain front, when that happens, and B, what the effect is, is it going to be Q2, is it going to be Q3? If we get a mass flood of goods back into the market,
and bring the price down.
Yeah, exactly. Then what are we looking at as far as inflation? So let's talk a little bit about maybe where we go as far as opportunities here in these spaces. Talk a little bit about the gold sector overall, because it's been, as you said, a great year.
Yeah, gold's been it's been on a good run. Going into Q1, Q2, the thought process is it'll continue to rise, not as rapidly as it's had in the past year, but it'll start to ebb and flow going into 23. Again, depending on how you view gold as a hedge against inflation. Now, if you want to look at some small cap names where gold has helped some of these names, if you want to go to the bigger side, the Barracks of the world, that's a very clear, one-for-one sort of thing. But if you want to look at some of the smaller names where there might be an opportunity, there's a couple of names that I know we've talked about before. There's like an Element 79, ELEM. They raised a little bit of money. They went public. I think the CEO was on here a little while back. Great little play. MGM was another one, Maple Gold Mines, that we had spoken about. Again, very large opportunity that if they can get the cash into the ground, they've got a good partner coming up now. When they get the cash into the ground, they can start to develop some of these assets. And again, if the price of gold goes where it's supposed to go, it could bode well. There's a couple other small Canadian opportunities like Renforth Resources we've talked about, RFR. There's one that just got started trading again called Sakova, SEK, that's gone from like 7 cents to 15 cents. And if they get what they're supposed to get, that could pop it off again. So there's a lot of these little small names that if they get a couple of these things happening and the price of gold continues its momentum, it could be a 1 + 1 = 3 situation.
And now, if you break it down a little bit, maybe one more step when it comes to mining stocks, we can talk about, the battery aspect. We can talk about the other metals that have just exploded this year. The demand, at least, has exploded this year.
Yeah, so I think on that front, there are a couple that people don't really give as much credence to. The first is copper zinc, because everyone talks about Elon and the batteries and all of those things. You don't actually think about how much copper zinc you're going to need. So we believe that run is going to continue on copper and zinc. And we're looking at differentiated areas for that. Like there's one that just went public last week. It hasn't done much yet, but I think it'll move. Great ticker, Santa, SNTA. Out of Spain. We're very bullish on Western Europe as well for mining opportunities. So we think copper, zinc will continue, as well as tin. So that Santa one is a tin play. And tin has been on a record pace. And again, you wouldn't think to mine for tin or look at investing into tin. But those are things you might want to look at, again, as general thematic plays. But if you want to get into the smaller cap names where you might get that delta on a trade, Copper, zinc, tin, we think are going to be big opportunities.
And things that have, had good years, but get left in the background, maybe don't get talked about a lot.
Yeah.
Something that does get spoken about quite frequently on this show, cannabis stocks. I mean, the psychedelic space as well, I guess, took a bit of a backseat this year. We didn't really hear a lot about it. What do we see going into the new year for both?
Yeah, I think that's going to be a segment on its own that we're going to have to try and figure out where cannabis goes. And it's something that we've talked about, again, over the past year. The U.S. is going to be the place that everyone's going to look at to figure out what's happening there. And it's all going to come down to, I think, banking is going to be the biggest thing. And can they get that figured out? But the price of flour is going to start to come down over multiple states as growing expands. So you're going to have a situation where prices are going to come down on the flour basis. How are you going to differentiate yourself there? Are you going to be a multi-state operator? There will be eventually some more consolidation like we've sort of started to see here in Canada. And so the U.S. is the big opportunity. And can they get access to more capital to grow out their opportunities? And can you get into the market banking-wise and buying stock through brokerages? So those would be a couple big things to keep an eye out for.
Never a dull moment in the cannabis sector, especially on this show. Rahim Alani, Managing Director of OCI Groups here in Toronto. Give us your, I guess, general thought here going into the new year. I mean, it's been obviously a very positive year for stocks in general.
Yeah.
Do we see that continue? I mean, it's hard to say, but it's going to be, I think, a little bit more of a choppy year possibly next year.
Yeah, no, I think that's spot on. As a capital markets optimist, this is what we sort of do all day. We hope that all things are going to go well, and it's sort of weird to say that it's been a great year given everything that's happened with COVID. But it's been a great year from the equities side of things, particularly on the small cap side. I do think there will be a level of choppiness, but I think there will be, I think we saw that very quickly this year, that as soon as there was an action, the reaction time got, brought down very, very quickly, like supply chain, like you talked about. As soon as people figured out what was happening around supply chain and how that affected, say, the Aritzias versus the Roots of the world, how that sort of came right into the stock as aggressively and quickly as it did, both ways. So I think the reaction time to some of the things that will happen in the world will predicate the choppiness that you talked about. So will it be an overall good year? Again, optimistically, I'd like to say it will be. But some of the things that will move, especially in Canada, on the energy side, the mining side, I think those things will be important, and like I said, on the tech side as well.
We appreciate your input. As always, guys, again, small cap opportunities on this side of the border. A lot of the names that we'll talk about are dual listed south of the border as well. So just expanding our horizons, as always. Have a wonderful, safe, happy new year.
Thank you, sir.
And we will speak to you in 2022. It's hard to say that, but 2 days away, guys, to the end of the year.
Yeah, it should be an exciting one. Thank you to Rahim, and we'll keep kicking with him in the new year. People asking how they can get a hold of Rahim, so it's OCI Groups. So you can look that up, OCI Inc. Look it up on the website on something called Google. You should be able to find it here. So thank you to Rahim again. Great ideas, great mind for minerals, resources, things like that. Some of the plays here in the great country of Canada. Okay, so just quickly here, I was just looking up, like people putting in the chat, what is the short interest? And we'll get it. Brendan's busy right now, but I see Reliance Global here on trade ideas as 2.86% short. Now that, I don't think that can't be right, because the way the stock has been trading here over the last couple of days with only a 1.17 million share float, that cannot be right. So then I went over to FinViz and I was like, okay, what is FinViz saying? So and again, here, this is the same company. They have a different share float. First of all, they have 10 million shares, and they have a short float of 5.82%. So, we're getting a little bit different. We'll check out what the Icon terminal says. But, I just noticed that right now, just doing a little bit of due diligence because people are talking about it here. So the float on FinViz, 11 million shares for Rely, right? The float on Trade Ideas, 1 million shares. So we'll have to see what's going on here with the short float as well. But, Rely, again, another big one. Thank you again, Rahim. Great segment there. Rely, again, off to the races one more time today, up 23%, taking out all highs. So here we go again. Another name starting to make a move. And, I don't know. I mean, it's not 800% short. Like, that's not going to be the case. It's hard enough to get it over 100%. We've seen that. You know what I was saying, too, is that we didn't even, like, hear of these meme squeezes or anything a year ago today, right? So, Rely, there's going to be some new names, man. AMC and GME were the talk of the town in 2021. Let's see who's going to be the big winner in this space in 2022. But Rely just continues to go up, so we'll wait on Brendan to get that one. But I do like this play here today. Any kind of bids, if it falls back in here, this is going to be played today, man. I mean, it's already 5 million shares, big volume the last couple days, just like this ISIG. You know, when they come out to play, they come out to play hard. And right now, come on, charts. ISIG, again, the same thing. Taking out highs. So, I mean, what a great rally this has been over the last couple days for, I mean, we'll take a look at SOPA. I mean, ISIG still going right now. This is a 20-minute chart. Where is my 1 minute? There it is. Just taking out the pre-market high right now of 29.20. So, boom, right up to 30, 30 half. ISIG Rip City right now. A beautiful base down. I mean, I can't believe that you're looking at a stock and I sit here sitting on my portfolio on pieces of you know what, like PaySafe and Clover and all these names. And meanwhile, hey, look, you can just make 25% right here in 20 minutes here on ISIG from 26 up to 30. So another big mover here, ISIG, and still going, man. I mean, where do we find the stops here on some of these names? ISIG is well off. Realize another name. This could be a very, very interesting day.
Yeah, I'm trying to actually, hold on, sorry guys. I am actually trying to work my way. Okay, no, I had ISIG there as it was taking 30 out. I just took a quick trade there. It seems to be slowing down a bit, so I'm going to actively trade this today. There's nothing moving, right? So I'm going to have to turn on the scalping game or put on the scalping hat today, and we'll be quick in and outs on ISIG. That's going to be one name I'll play, also, and then nice. Rely now is still going. Eh? Rely, the other name I want to play as well. So BIIB is taking off to the upside. We were thinking short south of 240. Well, it looks like that's not going to come into play just yet.
I like the long. You like the short there?
On what?
On BIIB?
I was thinking long. At 240, I was thinking that, but yeah, now that it's moving past, if it moves past through 245, I'm done. But I'll leave the door open for 240 as I watch ISIG go another 50 cents. Okay, then.
Brendan, can we get an update on that Icon terminal when you get a chance? I know there's a lot on our minds right now, but just about that Rely. ISIG going, just looking at the short float and shares outstanding, because we have some pretty different metrics here on different websites. Wow, this ISIG just still rocking and rolling here, just going absolutely nuts. And then just a quick back look on Rely, kind of slowed down, but right now it's ISIG taking out. What's up, Brendo?
Yeah, I can back up one of those numbers that you pointed out there, Sean. 5.8 on the short interest, and I see free float of 10.83 million. Outstanding about the same as well, 10.9 for Reliance. So I see 5.8% on the short side for that. Why don't we talk about the market, shall we? Because it's about that time already, guys. Arun, futures, I mean, basically the same as where we were yesterday.
Yep, and we're going to stay that way. As long as we, that's at the wrong location. As long as we stay underneath 4,800, we're going to be doing this, right? This market has decided to box itself in here. 4,800 up top, 4,770 down below. Anything in the middle is going to be a range trade. So all you can really do is know that this market's in a range. So until we break 4,800, we might get an expansion. But the issue I have with 4,800 is that it's such a round number and so obvious at this point that I want to see if stops go off first. Like stops go off and we can maintain some buy strength. If it's just stops going off and the market ends up coming back, then that's a problem, because that could open up some downside movement. So what I want to do is wait for this 4,800 to go. If it breaks and stays above and trades well, then we go for the long. If not, we go for the short immediately on a failure, and then we try to play the bottom end of the range. Of course, there's options to kind of, maybe go for shorts in the 90s with the 4,800 stop. That has to be done very carefully, just because my concern with the stops being above 4,800 is that if there's going to be a run, it's going to be a quick run, right? It's going to be a flash up 2, 3, 4 points as the stops go off, and then you can just get washed out, and then the market comes right back. So being short in the top end of the range, the play is there. Just make sure that the setup is solid before you go ahead and take it. That's why I hesitate a lot of the times to take these trades, especially yesterday. I had, I think, a couple options to take those 85s. on the short side, but again, it's got a setup so perfect that you don't have to worry about the 4,800. So for now, box it in, 4,800 up top, 4,770 down below. Either side breaks, you got to be open to the idea of playing that side. Just be smart about how you enter though, as ISIG just takes out 31 even.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead, Brendan.
Yeah, I'm just going to show you that. That's the link, guys, for the watch list. If you need an absolutely free resource every single morning, that is the link. Miss V will help you out in the chat. If you require that one more time, we send it out every day before we come on. Chip making stocks have been pretty exciting over the past couple of days. Yesterday, a little bit of consolidation, more negativity today after Samsung comes out. There was another lockdown in one specific Chinese province that Samsung was saying was going to affect both maybe Micron and Samsung production going forward. So no date really given on how long this will last or the severity of it, but a little more negative headlines here for some of these today.
It's just like, I'm honestly, like, I'm a little tired of all of this back and forth with these headlines on some of these stocks, because like yesterday, Micron, obviously we go long, they get a big upgrade. Yesterday, it was right on our sticky note there from Citi. Everything okay? What was that? And then yesterday, it was Motley Fool. I was looking for my sticky note from yesterday. We went long and absolutely, traded it quite well. It was one of my #1 stocks yesterday. And then we topped out at 97. You make all-time highs here, I believe anyways, near $97, $98, or close enough to it yesterday. And then all of a sudden today, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we also think that, what was the story there? I was just like, looking at something else, the DRAM, that the lockdown could lead to supply chain delays, right? Obviously with some of the COVID and Omicron worries about the supply chain going to be hitting these stocks, but that's not a news story. So I'm just wondering, did some of these analysts get short yesterday near that all-time high just to come out today and say the same thing that we already know? So Micron comes all the way back to the downside. I still think you can find some support on this name. And if you look at a one-day chart, down here 92. This has been a good little bottom there. So I think you can find some support. I'm long into that ISIG right now just because it broke that 31. I'm going to try to play a little flyer there, see what happens off the open. But I like a 92 bid here. I don't know if it comes through today. Here's the 20-minute chart. We dipped and dove around there yesterday into those levels, and that's where we took the long. So I like the long again here on Micron, back down to 92.50. We probably don't get a flush down there, but if you do, there definitely is that support in this 92 area. Just on a 20-minute and again on the daily, it looks pretty sweet. And then for AMD, we were catching some falling knives yesterday, but they just wound up cutting us more and more and more in the open here. It just boom, boom, boom all the way to the downside. And then we left it alone because, the market was rallying, and AMD, despite that little move, couldn't really get going. It retraced itself all the way back to volume-weighted average price at 149, and then just kept on fading out. And right now, you're looking to take out yesterday's bottom again. Even though the NASDAQ, one more time, is up today, AMD is down. So we have to look for a sign here or a spot to short AMD. I feel like today it's not loved right now. It will be, and it's not like this is the end of the world for AMD. It's a negative move, man. You get this one bump there, and then after that, it's been selling off. So I think you can look for a short. I don't think we'll short the bottom here, 147.50, because that probably happens before we even open up. But I like the short. We just got to find a place to get in. I'm thinking maybe like that 149 here off of a 20-minute chart. 149 right in there. Back to here, back to what day is this, the 23rd, 24th, back into there. So, you have some 149 protection, and then maybe if we really get going, then you can look to get out if we take out 152. So, hey, I'm still excited for this trade. Let's see if it can work today. It's going to be AMD. Look for a short, any pullbacks back through 149 or 150. Normally, I'm a bull on these things, but you have to trade the price action.
And for me, AMD was a trade that I had yesterday. I got long late in the day here around that 149.33, and then I got out right at the end there, taking about $1 hit. Though the trade is still, I still like the read. The read is still good as long as we don't take out 146. I'm open to the idea of a long, so that's still on the table. If we can get back above 149, I think we failed there a couple times yesterday. So if we get back above there, I think I'll step back in, make the same read once again, see if we can actually get the move to the upside. The daily I'm looking at is this here. We're coming back into this high end from what is it, like earlier in December here, like December 8th, and then again on the 16th. So as long as we get into that area and we start to find some strength, I would expect some buying to come in. So here we are looking for a long. As long as we move to the upside on AMD, which would require about a $1.50 move right now for this long to kind of get activated, we kind of need that $1.50 move, which is a good thing, I think. Instead of trying to catch it on the way down, let's get that confirmation of volume. Once we get that move to the upside, we can go ahead and take that long and see if we can actually get the real move which we're looking for, which is going to be back towards this 153 area. So for now, waiting to go long on AMD, but it is in an area where it could potentially happen fairly quickly. So we'll keep an eye on that.
All right, Johnson & Johnson higher here on very, very light volume this morning. We had Lucid on the list as well. Citigroup initiating coverage once again at a buy for Lucid. Not really doing anything though. J&J coming off 2 or 3 days in a row to the upside here, back to recent highs. Anyways, for Johnson & Johnson. And I say that only because some of the other vaccine makers definitely not looking like this on a daily chart. Johnson & Johnson out with further data this morning saying 85% effectiveness against hospitalizations in South Africa when it comes to Omicron. That was between November and December. Their booster generating 41-fold increase in neutralizing antibodies, 5-fold increase in T cells response against Omicron as well. But pretty quiet. I mean, it's a holiday week, guys. There's low volume across the board.
Look, I mean, we've talked about this a couple times here that, you know, there's room for all of these companies to win, right? As far as the booster and as far as the vaccine goes. I know J&J wasn't as heralded as the other two with Moderna and Pfizer. I mean, I go to check out AstraZeneca. I mean, that's a name that we haven't talked about in a long time as well. But look at J&J here. This is just a 20-minute chart. Just continues to be an absolute monster over the last week. So, you know, as some of these stocks continue to struggle in the tech space, you're seeing that there's some nice, you know, consumer discretionary. Johnson & Johnson not only has, you know, the talk about the vaccine, but they have so many other products that are just in your cabinet right now, right? That you probably don't even realize, or you do realize. I mean, they're a storied franchise here. Oh, by the way, I didn't tweet it out yesterday, but I officially got, or did I tweet it out? I'm not sure, but I'm now a minority owner of an NFL franchise. So, you know, really proud about that one. We got our Green Bay Packers shareholder certificate in the mail, and it's the first actual stock certificate that I own. Like they send you an actual certificate. I'll tweet that out. So shout out to Packer Nation out there. We with you, man. The most storied franchise in professional sports history. 13-time champions, Green Bay Packers. But okay, Johnson & Johnson here as you go up to the upside. Yeah, look, it's going to continue to work. I like the name. It's not a great day trade. I mean, let's just be perfectly honest here. You know, you got to wait for key levels to break. Yesterday, you did get a nice hold down here at 170, looking like 170 looks to be pretty good to me, but you're up to 171, 172, 41-time fold protection on the booster for Omicron. Great numbers coming through from Johnson & Johnson. But again, we're going to watch the market. You have to watch the S&P 500, and then we'll just see what we think about 170 again. But to me, it's not a great day trade name. It doesn't have the volatility, but if you want to sit in something and hold it, it's got to break some key levels for me. We're at 172 right now. It means at least a take of, you know, like once you get above and you start to retest some of these highs, maybe 175 or so on a breakout. But I'm long Johnson & Johnson, been long it forever. I love it for the dividend. It's not been a great mover over the year, but it's been a nice one over the last month.
Johnson & Johnson is one of those names where, like Sean mentioned, day trading wise, it's kind of tough. But if you catch it at the right locations, you may have a trade here and there, intraday as well as a swing. And I think the trading window for at least this stock was on the 17th, 20th, going into the 23rd. That was that window here where as we were coming back into the previous resistance area, that allows for some longs to be set up. And then once it's gone, I mean, it's very hard. There's no levels to work with, nothing nearby. So if it's going to go on its own with it, whatever it does on the daily, on the intraday basis. But we can't really rely on anything else from the daily chart because it's kind of cleared most of it. So until we get back into maybe the 175 area, then it's back on the radar for potential trade, maybe on the short side of things. But for now, I think I'm just going to leave it alone, not bother with it. It had quite the move yesterday. It kind of chugged right along for $1.50. Pretty much from that dip down to 170.5, but here we are sitting at 172, and it looks like it wants to continue this move, and it's got $3 in space to the upside, so why not, right?
You were having a look at Biogen there. If you missed it or just joining us, guys, Biogen, big move yesterday late in the day. Samsung Group coming out then overnight over in Korea saying they are definitely not, at this point anyways, interested in buying the company. So we just had a nice pop back to pre-market highs anyways, obviously still down off these levels from yesterday.
Yeah, and as I mentioned off the top here, 240 is going to be the level I'm looking at, and I'm still looking at the short side. And I was looking at the short side. That's what you see yesterday as well. But I mean, we kind of moved out of the way because it was acting a little funky. So we kind of just moved out of the way, and here we are with a gap down after getting confirmation that, hey, you know what? Samsung says no, that's not true, or it's untrue, as in their words there. So here we are, kind of bouncing around. There's still potential that this deal gets done and then gets put out there. You know what? Yeah, we changed our minds whether the deal is going to be done. And this will come out later, but for now, it does look like there's some sort of action here around that 240. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one here. 240 to the downside. 245 is going to be the upside window. I'm open to the idea of the long. Here's the thing. We're going to box this thing in. 240 would be the preferable trade to the downside. But if 245 goes and it trades well and we open strong north of 245, then I'm open to the idea of a long above it with the 240 stop. So obviously I prefer the short, but I'm not going to close the door to the long there as well. So we'll box this in with the 5-point window and see which direction it wants to go after the open, and then we can make up our minds. But here's the thing. I think when I went short yesterday, somebody was like, in the chat was like, why would you go short on positive news? Because it's not, the stock is, just because the news is positive doesn't mean the stock's going to go up forever, right? At some point, there's going to be some interest on the short side or on the sell side. And it seemed like 260 was that area, 260 into 265. And also, why? Because it was around that daily marker here that was providing a ton of resistance from 265 up to 270. So if it all lines up, you go for the short regardless of what the news is, as long as you're aware that, hey, you know what? It's a rumor, not a done deal. It's completely different if it's a done deal, but in this case, it was just a rumor and then it got denied, and here we are pretty much almost back to where we started from, as low as 240. I think we started this move at 236, so not too far off. If this market were to go up, I'll jump back on board on the buy side.
Okay, yeah, so that's Biogen. Good talk there. People are looking for some levels on ISIG, so let's talk about that just really quickly. I'm actually going to punch the long one more time here through 3050 level if it does break. I mean, when it breaks, I'm pretty sure this will break here, 3050. I'm just looking at these patterns and just seeing if we can rinse and repeat, right? So forget about this, but you know, basing out here, break, right? And then again, comes back, so you break out, comes back in, bases down again, breaks one more time. Then, you know, starts to base again, breaks the 29. We get excited just to put a trade on here in the pre-market. Wow, it's already 917. Okay, comes back in, we take that out, doesn't base out there, but then falls back in and bases one more. There, where am I not? Did I not? Okay, I was going to say, why did I not get those longs? But there we go. So now I'm long again off of another base and hopefully a move back to the upside, and then we'll just trade it from there. Where am I concerned about? I'm concerned about 2750. So that's where we're going to punch our long, or sorry, where we're wrong off our long if it does not resist this 2750 and we're able to break that. So I don't, you know, let's see what happens there. We're starting to go again. We've got a nice average price now, starting to work. We're now back in the money on this name. So watch out for 29 here, and then I'm not going to be too happy if it breaks below 2750. So that's what the look is here on RELI. But I feel like that was a decent take right there. So let's see where we go. Now we're making moves back up to the upside. Might take a piece out. We're long at 84. We may take a piece out at 31 just in case it's the top. And then hopefully we can start to fly a little higher than that. But that's my take on ISIG, guys.
All right, we mentioned Tesla on the ARC side of things. Kathy Wood selling some shares yesterday. There was also a recall, another recall because of a trunk latch malfunction that they've discovered. So it's not a small one either. 356,309 cars in the U.S. alone fall under this recall. So Tesla back under pressure a little bit here, 1.8% today.
Back under pressure and back towards that 60 area. I think that's a critical area that we got to keep an eye on, right? We talked about this earlier. The lower we go and the closer we get to that 60, the more interesting it gets, because if it breaks 60, then you lose any support you may have had. I mean, you could argue that 50 could be a problem as well, but 60, I'm going to mark off 60 as the area to watch. If we lose that area, you might actually see some space to the downside. That becomes a problem. And we should have some support, though. I would rely on the 65. We're at 66 and change right now, just under 67. So we're right here, and I think that you just got to watch it. It's close. It's going to make a move.
Right now?
Yeah, it's going to make a move. It's going to either break through 60 or it's going to rip right back up. So it's going to make a move off the open. Something's about to happen on Tesla. Which direction, we shall find out at the open.
So I'm saying because my order is at 1060 to break, right? So we talked about this. Man, damn it, darn it. I mean, that's. We were going to, that's why when you said it was 1067, I was like, because, okay, Palantir, I see Palantir's already working right now. All right, so let's see what happens here. We talked about that 1070 level. That could have been a break right there. 1072, maybe we should have taken that one. For me, I'm going to wait to see what happens here at 1060. I'm just going to try it as a psychological level there. Because I'm noticing, obviously, the bottom here is 1053. We can get to there. I mean, Tesla's moved $100 in a day, no problem. And I don't think the negative news today really makes this thing go down 5, 6, 7, 8%. Like maybe there's room for it to go down. I mean, there's room for this thing. This is why I'm interested in this 1060 level, because until we got there, it basically just went up $60 from that $1,000 break and didn't even think about stopping until it got here. So I'm just wondering if there's people maybe not caught, but is there longs here that when we retest this spot, they get nervous about a pullback back to $1,000. So let's see what happens here. The good thing about it is when I go short, let's assume it breaks. So when I go short 1060, I do have an out, and the out's going to be back here, sort of where we're talking about now, 1070, 1068, something like that, back into here. But if you really want to get conservative and you can hold the $15 hit, which we can, you can hold this all the way back to 1073. But if and when I get short at 1060, I think there's going to be some more levels that I can play off of. So we'll look at a 1-minute chart at that point and try to play off that. So that's what's going to happen on Tesla today. We'll see about a short. We know Kathy Wood with ARK sold a little bit yesterday, but hey, trust me, when it gets back down to 900, if and when it does get there, she will be buying right back in again. So let's wait to see what happens. I mean, I don't know, but let's wait to see what happens at 1060. But I am excited for Tesla and Palantir, just because we may not get to it. It's not on our list today, but it's on my sticky note. And again, there's Palantir. Whoa, hello. I don't even know what that is. Let's get that off. But there you go. Palantir again, defending that 18. We already took it. Ooh, it went to 1810. I was sitting there at 1810, but we never got filled. So we'll see if it can come back upside to that level. And again, all we're doing here on Palantir is the exact same thing that we did yesterday. Defending this 1780 level. We'll give it a little bit of love back to the downside. Do we have, oh no, my trades aren't on here, but we had this wick down here to 1790, took it to the upside. And then we played off 18. One of my biggest, most profitable trades yesterday, you guys all saw it at the 3 p.m. or the 2 p.m. show when we put this trade on. Defending 18, we took 3 times our normal amount of size there because there was size at 18 and it busted out to the upside there for us at the close. So we really like Palantir here again today. Let's see if it defends this 1790. And just a quick check on the size. Yeah, there it is. There's a small size on New York at 18, but we're not worried about that. Let's see the market open up and then see what happens with some of this size on PLTR.
All right, DD Global, guys, back to the downside once again. I mean, the destruction of this stock continues. 4% here, all-time lows for DD after earnings came in lower than expected, as expected for DD. Yeah, it wasn't a good report right across the board. So all-time lows set to open here for DIDI.
Yeah, and I guess look at the direction it's been going in since the 1 day popped on the 7th of December. Apart from that 1 day or the 2 day move, the 6th and the 7th, apart from that, it's just been straight sell, right? We had a couple flat days there that were green, but I mean, it's straight sell. The trend is there pretty much from 750 all the way down. Here we are 474, so below 20 cents below the closing price, and we're still moving down. At this point, where's your stop is my question. If you were to trade this on the short side, where do you put your stop? I like to look at the daily to kind of figure this out on where I could potentially use some locations to go for some stops, but the window for the trade on DD on the short side, it was here. It was when we took out 7 even, that 1 day on the 2nd of December, when we took that out and then we bounced back, shorting that pullback, that was the window for the short. And then now here we are kind of if you're short, you're kind of just waiting for more profits and you're just managing it. But stepping into a brand new position with this kind of a trend, I'm not sure where to go with this. I'm not sure this is a day trading stock as anyways. There was a small window for it. I think the window's closed on DD. So we're just going to leave it alone, move on. I think ISIG is providing enough action. I see Rely moving quite a bit as well. Obviously, we have BIB kind of trying to figure things out as well, and future as well. On the future side of things, we're boxed in on the range on the S&P 500, and when we come back from Brendan, I'll do the NASDAQ.
There we go. All right, I'll give you my take here on Reliance, guys. RELI, back to this 788 area, which is going to be a little bit of a congestion on the daily chart. This thing's crazy. It's been crazy for the past week or so. Yes, I am short right now, but tight stop at the high. If it gets back above the high, there's room to 850, 860, which is going to be a couple of wicks on that last big push it had to the upside. So tight stop at the high here. If we do get taken out, don't be surprised if we get back to 850 or 860 for RELI.
Yeah, I just looked at what the pay for shorts were for ISIG, and it's $1.67.
Is it? When I checked, it was 97 cents.
Right now. Oh, well, you already checked it. Okay, so it was 97 cents. So
earlier.
Yeah, we'll have to check out on that one for sure as we go, guys. So that's going to be woo. Let's hit the like button as well, guys, if we can. We have over 4,000, 5,000 people watching, and right now only 738 likes. So if you can hit the like button, we'll get Ms. V on the screen for you a little more often if that's what will do the trick. So we'll do that. But for right now, guys, DD, it's on the sticky note. We'll post that up. Check it out at TraderTV Sean on Twitter. I like this name to the short side, obviously, today. We've talked about that over and over again. It's down 12 of the last 15 days and another 4% yet again today. So the delisting news, we know about that. We'll have to just have to check DD. I don't really have any levels, but I just want to be short this name. So I think we'll put an offer, I don't know, somewhere in here, like 80s, just if it does bump up. We'll take a small offer just so we could watch it because we often miss names here as we go. So that's sometimes why you'll see me as the NASDAQ right now, Puke City here. So we're probably going to get into that Tesla trade very, very soon. But let's put a DD offer in. We also like AMC, defending AMC back near, wow. If this is a negative day, I'm going to get lit up real early here. So we also have some bids into AMC trying to look at 27, looking at the bottom of 26.50. Hopefully that doesn't fall out on us. But so far, so good here. ISIG bouncing around. I like AMC. I've got some bids down there. DD Global will short this into 5 and just have a look to see where we're going. What else do we have on here? And the other one we have is, of course, Palantir, which is already on board. So let's wait to see. ISIG really the only concern for me right now. I know Brendan's short Rely. Yeah, I was waiting for that to come back down to 7. So if it comes back into 7 flat, we'll take that. And then really, I'm just interested in it back down here to 6. So if we can base out somewhere around 6 and change, that's where I'd like to start along for that late pop, hopefully late, because I'm going to take it first, and then it will pop late. And Brendan can win on his short, and then we can take it long and see what happens there. But right now, ISIG is really the biggest concern for me. And by concern, it's not much of one, but I want to give a big shout out right now to, I hope it's both my parents watching, but big shout, oh no, is my father at work today? No, he's off. So a big shout out to my mom and dad. Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Enjoy your breakfast, and I'll try to make a little bit of cash here today, but I hope everyone's doing well. And just a shout out to everybody's family. You know, this is the holiday times right now, and unfortunately in this business, we don't even got a day off. So we're working all week. We worked all last week. We only had Friday off. And then the market, on a strange rule, when the year closes on a Friday, you don't get any holidays whatsoever. So that's what we're doing with today. They want to open the market back up for the first day of trade on the Monday, and then it has to be open full day for settlement into the end of the year, apparently. That's what happens on a Friday. So although we all thought we were getting maybe a half day off on tomorrow, what day is today? Today's Thursday? Yeah, a half day off tomorrow, but we do not. It's a full day, so get ready to rock and roll with us all day today and then all day tomorrow. And Neil will be back in the building. And thank you to Arun for filling in swimmingly over the last couple of weeks. So thank you to Arun for that one. A quick look here at the imbalance locator before we go. unfortunately, guys, someone said yesterday that Under Armour was a sneaky play. We'll look at that. That could be true as well, as they never get too much love. Under Armour, you always see the Nikes, Adidas, things like that going. So we'll have to check out Under Armour. There's DD. I just saw them there with a short sell as well. So let's watch. I don't even have to really watch ISIG. Ooh, there's a little dip down. That's not good. So we'll have to see what that's doing. But again, we already have our targets, 31 and then higher. And then our big worry is 27 flat on that one. So let's get ready to rock and roll. I'm just going to leave this one. My order are already in. They're either going to work or they're not. And then Palantir is really the most concern for me.
Yep, as we.
I'll get the
you got it. Yeah, all right. So the countdown as we go into the close or go into the open, markets are heading slightly to the downside as we are at what, 7?
We got to watch Tesla
count this
too.
one down. Yeah, and we're in the final
Around 3,
2, 1, and we are open. There we go.
All right, let's go. Let's rock and roll here. Tesla's getting close, man. Getting close to tapping us into this trade right there. And there goes ISIG. Let's go, baby. Yes, sir. Money, money, money spinning around already as ISIG taking out 32. Let's go. Through 32, baby. If we can do that, that'd be pretty sweet. As Palantir goes upside as well. Bang, bang, bang. This is what's happening right now. We're raining down the money. ISIG and Palantir, as I can't talk any faster.
So ISIG back at 29
yeah, this
now.
Is wild.
This is going to be nuts here on the downside.
It's going to get faded out
I
now.
actually picked up a nice little long on a move to the downside. I've got a pretty good price, but I'm not sure I want this anymore.
That's the problem, yep.
Yeah, I've got 29.36 on the bid, but we might be losing the bid here.
Number 27.50 and we're gone.
Yeah, I'm going to walk away from this. This might not be worth the shot here, so I'm going to walk away from ISIG if I can. Come on now. Yeah. Okay, we're going to walk away.
You're going to walk away from that on a 29 break?
Yeah,
we're really lucky that we were able to get a little bit out there. Obviously, we're still holding 2/3 of this trade to the upside, but we just got another piece down there. So we're going to take this long and see where it works from now. We're only long at 29.80, so this is not the end of the world here. But if it does drop down, hey, it will be a $1.50 hit. On ISIG, man, that is like fine for me. But there goes Palantir. This is the trade that I'm most excited about right now, as it's continuing to work to the upside here on a NASDAQ dump down. We already took this in the pre-market, and all we were doing was defending some of these bottoms. So if you look at a 20-minute chart, here's the bottom, 1780, so we'll take that. What did I just get into? I just got into Lucid. This was another name that we didn't cover in the pre-market, but Lucid right now, did that just gap up there? We took out 37, and now we're starting to go to the high side here. Another name on the sticky note today, Lucid, Tesla, DD, and Palantir, all on the sticky note, and right now, Lucid trying to make higher highs here. We're long at 37.05. Let's see if it takes out 38 and keeps on going up on a Citigroup buy rating.
Yeah, so I picked up ISIG on that dip down to 29. 29.36 was a fill. There seems to be a lot of volume. You're seeing it now accelerate, but there seems to be a lot of volume. So I just walked away from it. I was like, next to nothing on that trade. And I'm just like, you know what, forget it. It already crossed down from 32 to 29. I caught it on the cross. And then I'm like, if I get a nice little flush back up, it'll be nice. Seems like more sell side volume coming in. So we're going to walk away from that, kind of move that out of the radar here. But I am noticing that Disney is flying to the upside. Absolutely going nuts here. What is Disney doing at 156.50? To the upside, strong. Now, $1.50 move right off the open here on Disney, and that's something I actually want to trade. As we trade north of 156, I just want to wait a little bit more just to make sure that this is not going to be one of those opening, situations like ISIG did.
Santa Claus is
so as long as we actually can stay above 156, it's backing down towards that 156. This is exactly why I wait a little bit. But 156 is going to be the area that's going to help me make a decision on Disney here. If we can get strong back above it, then I'll be back in play on Disney. That's one name. Micron being the other one. Micron dipped below 93.50, which for me would have been a decision-making time. But it is coming right back here on Micron. So we're gonna have to wait on this one as well, as it backs. It's back over 94 and change now. So we're waiting for Micron, Disney, and Kroger. We were talking about with Brendan here. Kroger is sitting at 45.22. It seems like, and it has moved up from that. The reason the alert went off is because we flashed just north of that 60, and now we're backing down. So I think I'm going to reset the alert. If we get back up towards those 50s, I think I'll step back in on Kroger.
Man, we are just rocking and rolling right now. Forget about ISIG for a moment here. As Lucid just taking out highs on the day, obviously. Taking out that 37 and ripping up to the upside right now. Really, really happy with this trade as we go. We can also find out for Palantir starting to rip as well. Palantir going to the north side, 1840. Look at this Palantir move, guys. All the way up to 1850 right now and still ripping. Lucid still ripping. Let's go, Brandon. What's up, bud?
Tilray, guys. One I wasn't expecting to pop up here this morning, but trying to hold some significant levels on the daily chart. All-time lows, that would be. held that 7 area yesterday all day long. So 3% here on volume for Tilray.
That ISIG, there goes Palantir again up to 38. We just took that out. 2750s are out, so we're getting very, very close to that one. It didn't really, it got here. We're going to get out in a minute here. It didn't really do anything today, so this is going to be a hit for us today. ISIG, if you like the trade, I can't blame you for taking it now, but I'm using 2750 as the out. It just bounced off there, but that was my out before that happened. So a nice move downside for ISIG today, but again, it can still pop, but I'm very, very close to getting out, and then we'll see what happens down here. I just don't want to have this happen, because if it breaks this 2750, man, then you're looking at 26, and then I got to make a decision down there. So I'd rather get out of this name, look to something else, because right now it's a big win here for Lucid, as Lucid exploding right now to the upside. So a good move here for that name, taking out some highs, continuing to go. We're long at 37 flat on Lucid, a 58-cent winner, 60-cent winner now as we continue to go to the upside. And wow, Palantir just absolutely mooning right now as well as Palantir up. Let's check out SoFi again. Palantir only up 2%, SoFi up 4 or something now, 4 and a bit percent. It's so funny because we're going to do our, at 2 o'clock, we're going to talk about some stocks to watch in 2022. Honestly, it was SoFi and Disney were names that I was going to talk about. So you guys know that I've been talking about SoFi for a while, and Disney we like at these levels as that taking off. It's only up 1%. I mean, you could buy a lot of these names coming into this move. So I don't think we're like off to the races yet, but nice move up on some of these reopening plays today and some of the beat down names. So let's look at that. Win also making some moves today. What is DD doing quickly? Does that go above 5 there? DD close to 5. This is a sell. I'm selling DD right now.
Yeah, some big names moving. Futures taking off to the upside. Nice little pop right off. Well, I would say right off the open, but a strong move initially to the downside. Now up, looking at that 4,800, and this is going to be critical on what the market decides to do from here on out. We are noticing that Tesla. Remember, we were talking about Tesla around that 1060. As long as 1060 holds, this is going to be one of those moves that's going to be nice. Well, yeah, it looks like 1060 held, and you could have had a nice little 10, 12 point winner if you were playing that level. Again, like I said, I've been saying, Tesla's way out of my price range in terms of stock. So 1060 is just a nice level I have on the screen, but I'm not going to trade with it. But I do want to keep an eye on these futures. Man, they are about to take 4,800. What's it going to look like when they get there? Let's take a quick look at what the level 2 looks like on the futures. Okay, well, I only have 5 levels of depth anyways. So we're too far away to see what the sizes are, but it's not going to really matter. I want to see how we trade once we get past 4,800 on the futures. I am noticing that few names that are going up that I want to participate in. Disney back in play above that 56 now. It's trading 156.50, so we have enough to work with. We can go for the long there. I've noticed that ALNY is now well above that 172 area that I actually wanted to kind of mark off here. As long as we stay strong, then we can actually have a chance to go towards that 175. Once we clear 175, that trade's gone. And then ISIG popping back above 29.
Come on, ISIG.
Okay, that might bring it back on the table.
You can do it.
Right?
Yeah, let's see if ISIG can do it. Here, go back up to the upside, take out 30. That'd be sweet. That's all we need. We just need this thing to take out 30 one more time. If that, or not one more time, but now. And that would be great if it can do that, regain 30. That would really be the icing on the cake for what has been a bang-up day right now for me so far, guys. I hope you're enjoying the ride and hope you're enjoying the show because, yeah, we're working hard for you. And hit the like button if you haven't yet, man. Look at this Lucid trade. And you want to talk about, giving out information for free and not charging anything, guys? Lucid, buy 37. Take the 37 break. It's written right there. F-R-E-E is how we do the show, man. F-R-E-E right there. Watch DD. Look at this. Buy Palantir off 1780. F-R-E-E is what this show is all about. Thank you so much. A nice little super chat there from Mr. William Craig. Thank you for the 20 bucks, man. That'll help. I've already got the champagne. It is in the car. I got to bring it in. Let's put that in the fridge. We're getting ready to rock and roll with the champagne tomorrow. Okay. Tesla right now. Uh-oh. Here we go again. So we are now into that Tesla short. I don't think it wicked down there to 1053, but Tesla, we are now in this short. This is going to be a slippery slope for me. My day could get either infinitely more exciting or infinitely worse right now. As it breaks back down below 1,060, now let's start to look for some levels on Tesla here. Maybe we just get out if it does take back this 80, but we do have a wick up to 73 maybe. Let's see if Tesla can work. We are short this name. 1059.50 into Tesla. Let's see if this can work. $1 now in the money.
Yeah, I picked up some ISIGs around that 29 marker, pretty much where I got out. Remember, I got long 29.33, I think.
You got it?
Brad got Tesla on the
Let's go. Let's go, Tesla.
There you go.
Get to the bottom, buddy.
Is it breaking?
Yeah,
oh,
I already did break.
60?
So we're going to try to get this. We'll see if we can take a $4 or $5 winner on the first bid. It just stopped at 10.56 there, Arun, and basically stopped on a dime. So let's see if that 10.56 is anything there. But Tesla right now getting flushed down to the bottom. Unfortunately, our ISIG, yeah, it didn't. It went to 29.50 and said, hold my beer. So we may get stopped out on this one at some point. It doesn't look like ISIG wants to go, guys.
Yeah, no, I stepped into ISIG. Remember, I initially had it at 29.33, got out at 29.17, and then I got back in. I made sure I got at least the price that I got out at 29.16. If we break 28, I'll walk away from it. It's a $1 hit, a $1 and change hit, but I think it's worth a shot around that 29. It's not looking too promising, but I think outside chance that there's a decent move, and in that event, in the event that it goes, obviously you're going to look towards that 32 as the marker, right, to kind of take some profit or at least get a chance for it to run. But if it keeps going towards that 28, I'm just going to walk away, take the hit, and move on. Caterpillar is one name I'm looking at around that 208.50. It is coming off a little bit as the market itself is coming off a few points. So it seems like everything is going to be moving together. Obviously, AMD just went off. Why did AMD below 146? All right. Okay, AMD was still along as long as we stayed above 146, and AMD crashing through that 146. This opens up the short window for me on AMD. We've been looking at it on the long side for a couple days now. Now that we've taken out 146, we can definitely open up the shorts here as we move. I'm going to wait a little bit, and then I'll start working some shorts on AMD. Brendan?
We were talking about Alibaba yesterday on that Weibo headline, possibility of selling their stake for Weibo. Today, they get the nice bounce here, guys. 5% on huge volume for Baba.
5% down for Alibaba?
Up.
Oh, up. I was going to say, okay, because we were looking at that a little bit. Come on, get me to me. Bang, there it is. First piece out there, 56. Let's go, Trader Brad. First piece out, 10.56. We're trying to average into this up to 10.67 if it does come through. But now we can just stone cold chill because there's the profit take on Tesla out of half of that trade now. It's only $4. It's a $4 win right there. We'll see if Tesla can continue to make that move to the downside here. Now we can hold it. The reason why we like this Tesla play off the 20-minute chart is the fact that we have this whole gap right here where we just mooned from 1,000 all the way to 1,060, guys. So this is a level that I think we can sort of dance in and around here. Let's see what happens if we get to 1050. Worth holding on to. Man, how big of a day would this be if I just didn't have ISIG right now? Relay, we're into this name now. We take a bid on Relay coming through down to $7. We're trying to be very, very patient with this trade. We said we'd like to look at this back down near 6, but right now we're being patient with this name back at 7. So Relay's starting to work as well. A good out for us on Lucid. Oh, what? Okay, it went to 38 and stopped. So we'll have to look at that again. But out of 2/3 of Lucid now for the sweet win for that one. Palantir, man, we exploded that to the upside. Still only have 25% of that one as that continues to work. So far so good here as we're watching a few other names, man. We just got to get into them. Tesla right now, though, on my docket, and that's the big name that I'm watching. Microsoft might be a play, too. We got to go over there and look at that as the NASDAQ starting to trader here a little bit.
Yeah, and that's the tease that you get from the market as it gets close to 4,800 and then finds some sellers and comes right back in and bringing the market with, well, all the individual names with it. You're starting to notice Tesla go. And then actually, I'm focusing on the S&P. I think the NASDAQ is actually taking a beating here because it's actually negative on the day. Here we go. Let's take a quick look at the NASDAQ here. We're coming into, oh yeah, that's a nice little 50-point move off the bottom here, off the top here. So here we are coming back in. Do we have support on the NASDAQ? Yeah, but it's going to be a few,
ISIG.
you know, yeah, ISIG, it broke to 28. I'm going to walk away from
that. Yeah, we're gone on that one. ISIG, I'll just tell you, just my position. We'll flush ourselves down the toilet on ISIG. But again, I say this all the time, man. Like, these names, honestly, like, this was just too expensive to short. We knew we were in a little bit of trouble here, you know, when this happened, and it just was taking the downside and never even retested 30. So we sort of saw the writing on the wall. It needed to break 30 there, and it didn't. So that's over with ISIG. It could be worth another bid down here near 26, but you got to let that come in a little bit here on ISIG. So one take for a win, and then honestly a dump out for that loss. So that is unfortunately what's good right now for ISIG with me. A loss loss there on that trade, so don't like to have that on the account, but hey, it's there. And Lucid running back to highs again. Let's just try to find some other stock there. Yeah, I don't know why. I noticed that, Scott. I don't know why I'm talking in super fast mode today. I'm on like a coffee deep here. I don't know what's going on there, but Tesla coming back upside now. That's why we took that profit. We're still in the money on Tesla. Like we've already got this out, so we're not in the money now, but we're a profitable spot on that. And we're going to look to short it into here, guys, one more time around this 1066 area. And then I just want to see if Tesla's going to work, fine. But I don't think it's going to take out this 1070 again. And if it, there it goes. So there's the other short there on Tesla, averaged in price, man. Now I'm really happy that we took that out down here at 1056. So I actually double checked, guys. This 1053 is an actual print. That actually did go off down there. So we do have a downside movement there down to 1053. So we're reloaded. One of my favorite animations, or it's not even an animation, one of my favorite things is, okay, so here we go, man. Let's see where this goes. A little bit of Donnie Brasco to the downside here as we keep going. Goodfellas, Donnie Brasco, Scarface. I saw Scarface. I watched like the first 30 minutes of it and then fell asleep yesterday. It was on at about 11. I think it was started at 11 or so. But yeah, we're going to bed early these days. Let's see what happens now to the downside. See if this can take out that 1060 one more time as we sit in Tesla and sort of count our chickens here. Hopefully they hatch to the downside and Tesla can retrace. Our out though, just in case you're wondering, because I've talked about it, is 1072 flat. I don't even care about these wicks up here. I don't want to be a part of those. If it breaks through 1072, we'll take it. If it continues to wick higher, hopefully we can hit the short back on a wick higher, but I'm not going to hold this through 1072. Too much risk right there. What's up, Bren?
Energy Focus Incorporated, another one that is one of those low float, not this one, over here. EFOI, another one of those low float type stocks that can get going when it wants to. Lots of volume coming into this now. Just made a day high there, guys, up 24%.
All right. I am looking at, I mean, apart from ISIG, you see my screen, no positions. This is the kind of market I'm dealing with here. Not a whole lot setting up. Obviously, we're looking at Disney around that 156. Things are starting to change on Disney. The more I watch it, the more I'm like, this might actually be a short. So I'm waiting to see what I want to do around this 156 here. There could be a long, but I'm kind of leaning into the short here. If there's going to be a short, it's going to be about a 155, 50 something short with the 157 stop. If we come back in, this is a problem for Disney. So as strong as it was off the open, it is starting to find some selling inside the area or around the area that I was looking at potentially going long, which tells me, hey, you know what? You got the level right. There's activity around there. We just got to figure out which side is going to be stronger. So we're going to wait on that one there. Caterpillar is another name I'm looking at potentially on the long side here, just north of 208.50. I just want to see how much more strength we have. We absorbed a little bit of the selling. Do we have enough juice to keep going up? So if we can get above, say, 208.60 and change, there's a decent amount of space to the upside that we can work with. I'm looking at the daily here. If we clear this, as long as I control the risk on that trade, I should have at least up to about 210, 211. So it's going to be, it all depends on the risk. At 208.50, I have what, maybe $2.50 or so in upside before I hit some resistance. So I do have to be smart about how I'm playing the risk on Caterpillar, but if it's available, I'll go ahead and take the shot. Also, I'm not closing the door for potentially shorting this as well. If we don't maintain strength above 208.60, I might just go ahead and take the short south of 208 and just go for the downside instead. The downside has a lot more potential, so I am going to be open to both sides of the trade on Caterpillar, either long soon north of 208.60 or short south of 208 and change. BIIB has done pretty much what I would have liked. Not in this fashion, but I don't mind this at all. 245, remember, we either go long north of 245 if we get strength, or we go short below 240. Well, if you're going to break 245 and blow up any stops that we have on the short side, I appreciate that, because now if I go for the short move, I don't have to worry about the stops north of 245 anymore. So here we are waiting for BIIB to continue down. If we take out 240, that would be a nice little short. Brendan?
Another one moving, guys. Little one moving on NFT news here. Integrated Media Tech was halted, just resumed up about 20%. They launched an NFT trading platform for this one, IMTE.
Okay, another name there, just so you guys know, Reliance. We already took out All we're really doing right now is just stacking this cash with Tesla coming right back to life here a little bit off the 1066 short. So let's see if that can work to the bottom now. But there's Relay. We got a 7 bid. We just took it out 25. So it's only 20 cents right there. But we tried to let this thing go just so you could see. We were waiting up here at VWAP, so it didn't go. It only went as high as 34. When it came back in, it was just dancing, just like this. Back 724, 725, back and forth. And we just took a 25. So let's see. That's a nice little take for us right there. Believe me, we went long there at 7 with the intentions to take it out at the day's high, but it didn't even get to VWAP. That was our first take. And our next one now, we're just going to wait to see if Relay wants to go. And I was just talking about Tesla looking like it wanted to go, and it stopped at 64 again. So we're just sitting here watching this stock. Here we go. Try to break back down below. Here it comes. Back down below 60. So this is going to be, I mean, that's a nice bank right there, man. And we're back in. We're starting to ring the register again here. We're not ringing the register, not until we're out. But let's see if Tesla can work to the downside there. You know, you don't recall 500,000 cars and go up. So we're already down that 2%. That may be enough. If we don't get help from NASDAQ, then we will get stopped out of this Tesla trade. So that's what we talk about when we talk. Here we go. Come on now. Let's go. As we talk about risk management and things like that, you never want to put enough shares on board that this is your last trade. So, you know, have an out. I've already sketched mine out, and it's 1072. That's my out. I'm more than comfortable holding this position. It's not even affecting my net as we go. So just please, if you can learn something every day, then you're in the right spot. I've learned every single day sitting beside Arun, sitting beside Neil, and just taking this job on. I've had a great run here, and I'm learning every day. So at the same time, 1072 is going to be my out. Let's talk about a name that we haven't looked at yet, DT. DT took off to the upside, which is surprising to me because we've had here a bunch of negative days here in a row. I can even zoom this out to see just an absolute tank fest here for DT Global as they're being delisted. But look where we are. We're coming back into this area that we've already been into, and I think this is a great shorting opportunity. So we're short now. I was waiting for 05s. We never got it. It only went as high as 04. I'm averaging in to DT here. If it comes back up to 05, we're taking that. But at the same time, we do have an out, and I'm going to use 10. If it breaks above 510, then we'll get out. Now, we never use even like that, but if it breaks above 510, that is a spot for me to be worried about. So watch out for that as we go. And guys, honestly, it looks like Tesla just keeps on bouncing like off this, like, you know, take these bottoms, make it a little bit lower. It seems like we're bouncing off this 62 a bunch of times. We may get taken out here on the high side. So just be careful. I'm not going to average in anymore. Tesla following the NASDAQ here. You see a little bit of a dump down, and now the NASDAQ just chilling out here. So if this continues to go up to VWAP, this probably tests 1072, and at that point, we're going to get out. I don't need to be part of this. We've seen the NASDAQ turn, you know, red to green and super green, and trust me, in a rallying market, you do not want to be short Tesla. So let's get that out at 1072. We still have $7 to work with. So, hey, we're chilled out right now, but if it does go back up to the upside, we have to take this piece out. So let's hope that Tesla and the market continues to fade out here. But on that note, I'm going to let you speak in here, Arun. Sorry, I just want to cover some of these trades. $38, Lucid, back to highs right there. Great offer there. We're long on Palantir, back to highs as well. Moon, that one. Relay still chilling out. So right now, we're in the money on everything, especially Tesla, as that's now going to the downside. Come on, Tesla. Let's go. We're hyped up today, guys.
Yeah, a couple positions that I've been taking in the meantime here. Caterpillar, we talked about that 208.50. I've gone ahead and taken that long. Where's Caterpillar? Right here. Right here around that 208.50. Stop on this is not that large. I looked at the chart a little bit more. And I'm like, I don't need the massive stop on this. So the stop on this is going to be about 60, maybe 60, 70 cents or so. It's going to be somewhere south of that 208. But for now, we're going to rely on this kind of strength here that we're seeing. So we'll leave it alone and go for CAT. And the other position I took over, this is what happens when you offer right into a massive buy wave here. I offered in as it was buying up, and then boom, all the way up to 146.60. Trade is still good. I still like the trade. It's just not good to see. I'd rather not have to deal with this. But here we are out like 40 cents right now as it kind of ran me over. But we are still good with this short south of 146. There's still a decent amount of resistance here. So we will play that game on AMD. For now, though, we'll stick with these two. We'll look for some more. See if we can maybe pick up that Disney as well. Disney, I don't know. I'm still on the fence with Disney. Disney's all over the place with that 156 area, so I'll wait a little bit more before I make a decision on Disney. For now, though, we'll just carry these two. Futures have decided that, hey, you know, after going up very fast, we're going to go down and then do absolutely nothing. So futures is going sideways as I noticed that some of these other names are starting to make the reversals as well. Specifically Tesla you talked about, right? Tesla now popping back up.
Yeah, now Tesla's starting to run. So we're about to get out of this one. And again, for all that fanfare where we were like, okay, let's go to the downside Tesla, it looks like it doesn't want to do that, man. And that's fine. Like, we took a shot. We're going to see. We're $3 away from getting stopped out on Tesla. It's by no means a day wrecker or anything here. But it looks like it is going to test this 172. And that's my out. So, you know, once that happens, we're going to get out. Then we'll watch it to see if we can punch back into the short if it does come into play on maybe a wick to the high side. But I may let this settle down. Like, we do have this 173.80 there on a high side. Maybe we don't get of everything. Maybe I'll just cancel some of this. And we don't have to get out of absolutely everything if it does break higher. But 1072 is an area of concern, obviously, for me that we've talked about. So I'm going to get out a little bit if it does break that. And I'm just putting the order in now to get out. And we'll try to hold a third of it up to a little bit of a higher level. This level right here, okay, here it goes. We're going to get out in a minute. 1074-ish to get out on a little bit of a higher level, just in case that is that wick right there. So let's wait to see 1074 on the last third, but we're going to take out of the majority of the shares if it does take out this 72 level, which it almost just did. So we're like a couple ticks away on the NASDAQ from this thing exploding. So Tesla doesn't look like it's going to work, but we haven't changed our mood at all because, well, we have a little bit where we're not happy taking losers, but look at Lucid, guys. That one is just whoa, 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 whoa. There it is right there, taking that out. And again, on our sticky note to go long at 37, that's exactly what we did. And now, boom, to the upside. We only have 4 ideas on the sticky note. One of them is the DD short. One of them is the Tesla short that we've already cashed out on, but we got a little greedy there trying to play off VWAP. It doesn't look like that's going to work. And then, honestly, another name that's on the sticky note, Palantir today, go long off of 1780. It's as simple as that. We'll put the sticky note back up onto our Twitter. Well, it's on our Twitter. Let's just show it quickly right here for you guys. If you want to check this every single day, man, it gets about 100 likes on a good day today. 13 retweets. Thank you so much for that one, guys. We'll put this up, but there's Tesla. Big recall. Watch the 1060 break. We already took that. Buy Lucid through 37 right there. We can't talk about that anymore. DD, we're down on that one. And then buy Palantir. And also, watch AMC off of 27. We'll put this into the chat. So if you want to follow me, please do that. There are a bunch of fake accounts out there. So please be very, very careful with that, as it looks like right now. There it is. Okay, so Tesla, sorry guys, it does go up. It does take out that 1070. We're still holding a small piece, but hey, everything else working out for us. Tesla, we gave back this trade. So we gave back that trade. That sucks, but hey, at the same time, Dow just now hitting record highs as well.
Yeah, talk about popping up. AMD just absolutely looking to run me over. I'm still good with the short, but it's just, ugh.
You know what? I don't mind getting
here it goes all the way up back to 147. I'm good all the way up to 149, given what we had for the last couple of days. So we'll sit on this trade. If we need all day, we'll take all day. Caterpillar is a surprising one, though. It actually caught an offer not too long after I got in. So Caterpillar not helping the scenario right now. As it moves to the downside. There's not a whole lot else that's coming up off on my radar. Obviously, individual stocks are moving, but if they don't set up on the daily for me, I'm not going to bother stepping into them. I know there's been talk about AMC. AMC is running into some resistance that I'm noticing up top. So limited upside for me to step in at the moment. And then also Hood as well. Hood's also running into some resistance up top, so I'm not going to bother stepping into that either. So there's limited upsides on some of these names. So we're going to have to prioritize the ones that actually have space, or I'm going to prioritize the ones that have space here that we can actually move with. So for now, again, back to the futures, maybe 4,800, that's an option. ISIG turning around 27. I'm kind of thinking
it's hitting that bottom there.
There might be I don't know, there might be something on ISIG around this 27. We need to kind of trade a little bit more before we make a decision, but that's one thing.
I'm taking along through 2750.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I just, it's based down here. Mistake not being in this area. We were playing off of this area here, obviously in that bid, but we should have done the same thing down here. It's just you have to believe in this name, and right now it has struggled all day. I mean, it was great in the pre-market, right, when there's no volume, and then all of a sudden volume comes in and people are like, no, man, this ISIG has been way extended. We were just $11 like 3 days ago, guys. So now the fact that you're at the 30 is, definitely an area, not of concern, but you know, this is a nice profit spot for a lot of traders. We've already made these highs back before, 35, 36, and then look, we sort of danced around here before. We've danced around 15, a nice break back down to the downside. This thing could easily break downwards further. So we're not in this name, but I think it's worth a flyer if it does take, see, there it goes. So if it does take out this 27.50, I think it's worth a flyer, but you might break right now, even below this 26. And if you do that, then you got to watch out. Unfortunately, I would like to be short this name, but it's just too damn expensive to short this. I mean, it's not when you're looking at this, but you got to pay $2 to short it. So, I mean, it's only moved $2 here. So you almost had to have top to bottom here to pay for that short. So a little bit too expensive for me on that one. We tried to average into AMD. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. And maybe you already answered, and I just went off on a tangent. Where are we trading AMD until? Because I like the short. It was short all day yesterday. We got to play this pop here. Let's see if the NASDAQ holds it. Are you short to 149?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, same type of thing. So both Arun and I looking at some of these levels up here, 149. It's an average in to me all the way up there. So we're on the same page with this one. Let's see what page Brendan's on. Looks like he's over there at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at where we're at this point. Still positive, but muted as expected right across the board. 0.2 there for the S&P, about 0.3 now for the Dow, still leading. You can see the Russell, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, all in positive territory. The NASDAQ as well, holding on to a decent gain. The composite, the 100, a little bit to the weak side of things. TSX here in Toronto also positive on the day. Some mining stocks helping. For Toronto, AMAT, we had all the chip makers kind of on watch today. Sean just showed you AMD. There's AMAT. You can also have a look at NVIDIA back to the downside as well, along with INTC coming under pressure on supply worries once again. J&J, we were talking about some positive headlines there for their vaccine in the pre-market. We're right now back to the support levels from the pre-market for J&J, guys. Back to you.
As I watch this AMD just trying to rip my face off here,
I know, same thing, man.
It was that 146. I was like, oh, you know, that's the level I want to watch on the short side. And it looked like it was good to go. And then it just flipped a switch and boom, directly off that 146. There seems to be some activity below there. And they just, here it is, $1.70 now up. And I'm on the short side. Okay, that's not good. So this may be a problem. And it's still got some buy strength. That's the other problem, too. It is decently buying up well. They're not letting this go at all to the downside. So then that may have been a miscue on my part here, maybe misreading what I was seeing on the 146, or it could just be a straight up loss, just like a valid read, but just getting run over as timing was off a little bit. We still have space to the upside, yes, but I'm just going to prepare myself in the event. Given the activity, I was like, I may have to just prepare myself for what's going to happen on AMD. And Caterpillar also coming off to the downside here, off through 208. Tesla, though, nice and strong as we go to Miss V.
Hey guys, we've got a super chat from Jose Rodriguez. Rivian reaping, guys. Indeed, Rivian is up around 3%. Can you take a look at Rivian for us?
Rivian's up? Okay, yeah, we'll have to look at Rivian for sure here as I'm just checking something to see what those shorts are going to cost again. Well, we'll check Rivian right now. We want to check what those shorts are going to cost again on that ISIG. Yeah, so I don't want to give up hope yet on AMD. We did short again Tesla, just a monster move to the upside here. We are near some key levels on a 3-minute chart. But that 1080, man, that's holy crow, wow. Don't ever, like, this Tesla, man, when this wants to go, this has absolutely no problems going to the upside here today. Tesla's probably going to go green on us. Wow. I mean, besides this last trade here, like, we were actually pretty flat on the day on Tesla because right there we did take 1066 out 1072. So that's a $6 hit, but that's a $4 winner there. Yeah, 1059.80 out 1056 flat. So about 380 or so, but then we lose 6. So, you know, we were out a little bit there. Losing $3 on Tesla isn't the end of the world, so it was fine. But right now, getting run over, as I thought that pop through 1075, I was just going to try to short that pop, but again, it popped again to 78 right there. So yuck on you, Tesla. Let's see where that one's going to go right now. But Relay, nice trade. We take that bottom fill there. It does go all the way up to 760. 760. Let's see. I'm going to put an offer around here, 780 or so. If we can get that on Relay, I do like that trade. So that's going to be one that we're going to look at again for that. I've noticed, obviously, SoFi just wow to the upside, man. We're really glad that we've been buying some SoFi down here near 15. So a nice move up. Our account is definitely appreciating that one, although we don't have this on board for you today. SoFi continues to rock and roll. And those of you that have watched the show know that I've been pounding the table that I think it was worth a dice roll down here near 14. I'm pretty sure Trader Pratt got into SoFi as well. So, yes, sir. So I'm glad for that. And I'm glad for his Palantir today as well, as that's working out for all of us. So let's just keep on watching this as SoFi right now, trying to get excited. I'm still peed off at myself a little bit because SoFi should have been taken out up here, at these levels. We were long SoFi down here before and let it run all the way to 23, 24 and didn't take anything out, which is crazy. I chased it. I was here when this happened. I was talking about taking some out and I put offers, and the next thing you know, it was just opening lower, lower, lower. And then, you feel bad. Like when you want to get out at 24 and it's at 21, you're like, do I still take it? Should have taken it. And then the next thing you know, it just cascade to the downside. So SoFi, hopefully some of the bag holders, me included, although my price is around here anyways, still, let's hope that we can get SoFi to motor to the high side. Lucid coming back in a little bit. There has to be a point where we take out profit on this name, where we've already done, but it's just bouncing around 38 high side. So this could be a profit-taking opportunity, especially if it breaks back down below 38.
Yeah, this is going to be this is a rough start for my last trading day on the show for this year at least. Okay,
there
so
goes Lucid.
Yeah, ISIG being the bigger loser, Caterpillar we just dumped as well, and AMD now coming back in. I mean, it's coming back in by 20 cents is not something to be excited about, but here we are still waiting on AMD. I'm not going to be super active. I am looking at the names that you guys are throwing out in the chart in the chat.
Lucid out.
There you go. Sean just got out of Lucid. Sean's got that's a full board right there. Yeah, so here we are waiting for more positions. I'm looking at what you guys are putting up there, see if I can't jump on board on some of these names. I saw you guys put up NVIDIA is running fast. A lot of those names are moving. I'm just trying to figure out which ones I want to participate in based on what the longer term charts look like, specifically the daily, right? So one name I am looking at, Square right now. I'm like, maybe Square might be a nice little long here around that 165, yeah, around that 165 area. It's a multi-day level that we kind of just got past. I'm not, if we can just get this chart loaded right here. It's at 164.50, 165. We just got above it. There could be a nice little long to work with here, and it's got space to the upside. So this is something I'm definitely going to be keeping a very close eye on for a few more minutes before I kind of make my mind up, and based on the action as well. And AMD's just took out 148, lovely. If we can stay strong above 165, I'll go ahead and take that long. The stop on this is going to be south of 162.50, maybe into the 162s or so. But there should be some strength that we can work with on the buy side here on Square. And I'll just keep looking for more trades, right? At this point, I'm not going to get too, like I mentioned, I'm not going to get too active, but I am going to be looking for some trades that I can potentially catch.
Yeah, so you said definitely maybe there. That reminds me of one of my favorite rock bands of all time, to be honest with you, Oasis. So good call there. We love some Oasis, their debut album. Definitely maybe. So shout out to any Oasis fans there. Yeah, there's Randy. Yeah, we like that, man. I love those two. Noel and Liam. Well, what a bunch of characters those guys are. Okay, so Lucid right now. We just took it out. So yeah, man, we'll spin it. We don't do this enough. Maybe some people think we do it too much right there, but that's a good trade for us on Lucid, man. And again, the most, again, like we're getting run over on. I mean, AMD, honestly, at this NASDAQ, I was not anyways, expecting what a great run this has been on the NASDAQ. It's just taken off here, man. Like we were talking about not being short Tesla into a NASDAQ rip, and that's exactly what we are. So, although, we have celebrations today. It just, whatever. I just hate that we lose on that call. And we haven't made nice decisions here on Tesla. And I think a lot of us are thinking short here. I can see on the chat. And I mean, I'm here to trade this with you guys. So, but 1080, it's just, short there, nice take. We take it on VWAP. We get out right there. And now we're just rolling right now with this 1073 short. Yeah, I don't, this looks like it wants to take out 80. So we could go back-to-back jacks here the wrong way on the downside or on the upside for Tesla. So downside net, upside stock. I mean, we hold Tesla. We really like Tesla, but at the same time, let's go back to the downside. You're recalling 500,000 cars, man. Okay, let's go back here. Look, AMC's taking off without us. So we say congratulations, and we go, yeah. For everybody trading AMC today, because yes, sir, this one just continues to make moves again. We were waiting for that 27 bottom. I'm just sitting here at 27 because we've resisted that break a bunch of times. The lowest we've gotten was like 26.80 or so on that move. This is a 20-minute chart. So yeah, right there, yeah, 26.63 or so. We thought that there was a chance to retest back down here, and we just waited low 27s. But as you can see, we are taking off now, right back up to the upside on AMC as that name continues to work for longs, and it's been working all week, man. There has been some dip opportunities for sure, and you could say it's not working because obviously we're starting at 30, but there's been opportunities to pick up longs here on these dips, and now today you're extending to the upside. We shorted AMC yesterday, as you guys remember, at the close, and we're able to cash out on that. Is that even here? Yeah, so yeah, whoa, yesterday's short right here, 28 and change, cashed out on the short at the end of the day. You're coming up to some levels. Maybe you could short ahead at 29, but nice momentum to the upside. What's up, Brando?
Some of the airlines, guys, popping back up at day highs as well. Just pull up UAL. Looks like that just made a day high, coming back in a little bit. There's more warnings today about cancellations, COVID-related staffing cancellations, but nice looking charts here for most of these airlines so far.
All right.
Just took a drink of this bad boy.
There you go. Square. Still going strong, north of 165 now, almost at 166. Now I'm trying to catch some bids, obviously, and it's already $1 past where I want to get in. So that's one option I want to get into. BIIB took out that 240, so now I'm trying to get myself some shorts on BIIB. And Netflix also took out 620, which means that I got to get my hands on Netflix as well. Netflix, I was looking at from the daily here. It's a nice little level, too. We took out this high from a couple days ago here with 618.41. Clears the zone a little bit. I just want to see a little bit more trading on Netflix here. So this one's almost ready, just a little bit more before I can step in on Netflix. But for now, we've got a couple of bids, one bid, one offer, and riding that AMD short, and then see if we can't catch Netflix as well. I think I've given up on Disney. I don't know what Disney's doing around this 156. It's way too much mixed information for me to kind of make a decision on this. So we're gonna leave it alone, see if we can't maybe get something later on. But for now, we're gonna kind of just walk away from Disney and just focus on Netflix, BIIB, and maybe some Square, but Square's still going strong. Now at 166.30, which is almost well past where I should have been in, around that 165. So that one might have to come back later on. I'm not sure if I want to catch it on a move right now. If it were to kind of swipe down and give me a fill, that'd be a problem because I'd be worried about the sell side activity given how strong we were. So for me, I think a nice little trickle down would be a much better read on Square if I'm going to go for the long. I'd like the long around 165, but it depends on how it comes down, right? So for now, Square's going strong. We may have missed the boat on that. And then it looks like futures, NASDAQ, which was the one negative name. NASDAQ as the market, which was the negative market that we had. Remember, S&P was still somewhat positive when we had that move down. Well, NASDAQ was negative, and now it's up 0.25%. Huge move on the NASDAQ.
Get down,
at
NASDAQ.
534. We were down at 450 when we kind of flashed down, and here we are kind of moving strong as we go to Brendan.
Solo, guys, one of the smaller EV names just popping up here. Big, huge volume spike just came in there, up about 10% for SOLO.
Man, we say get down to the NASDAQ right now because we just did average into our AMD short up there at 148. So now we have a 147.30 print price, 147.35 in our account right now. And so now we're only down 30 cents, on this account. So on this name, So as we look downside here on AMD. Let's see if it can get going now. I don't know. I mean, I wish Arun would have said that the NASDAQ is setting up for a great short, but because right now we are short the two big dogs here. We're short AMD and we're short Tesla. I call those the big dogs because they've been looking with the futures here. As the futures have gone up, we've gotten squeezed out of these positions. Not out of them, but out of a good position here. We are in these, and if the NASDAQ can just fade back out a little bit, even come back to test VWAP down here, then yeah, both of these, yeah, Tesla's going to go right now. Tesla's testing 1080. We're going to get stopped out of this one. So all the talk here of Tesla trying to go down, no, doesn't look like it wants to do that, as the NASDAQ is just screaming, damn it, screaming to the upside here, as goes NASDAQ, as down goes our net. So yeah, 1078, ooh, a little hold there. Hopefully we can hold it, but that 1080, man, looming large in my mind right now. So damn it, that's going to be, darn it, that's going to be a little bit of a hit. New position alert, so hopefully this one will go,
oh my God,
with ISIG, because I want to have that kind of a move to the upside, like an oh my God move. We take out that 2750 there. Let's see if we can get back to 29. Wouldn't mind getting something out around here if it can go, and then we'll see if ISIG has the run in it. But so far today, it's just, you know, it hasn't done what we thought it would. So maybe now we get the, you know, the sort of the acceleration now to the upside on ISIG here. So that's what we're waiting for. 29 take would be pretty sweet. And then if we can hold for 30 again, then that would be even sweeter. So let's see if that one wants to continue to work for us on the long side here. I say continue to work. I mean, we're long in the money right now at 70, so we're long at 10 cents. Nothing right now. Hopefully we get a break to the upside, take out this VWAP at 28.50, and then let go ISIG back to 29. I do have an offer at 28.90, so if it does take this out, I think we could spit up here. Remember, we have some tops at 29.32, so let's see where it goes, but it just resisted that 28. Like, I could get out for 30 cents now, and all we would do is just make back, you know, slowly make back some of these hits that we've had on board. But at the same time, let's see if we can get a bigger win here on ISIG, because we held it for that $1.50 loss. Let's see if we can make that back.
Yeah, the ones that I want to get into, I'm not getting any fills or getting close. Like BIIB, I wanted that just south of 240. I was a few cents from getting an offer.
No NASDAQ.
And then it decides it wants to fall $2. I'm like, okay, great. Now I got to leave the order there and hope that we get a flash move upside. And Square, once I put the bid down, I mean, it's $1.50 pretty much from where I want to get filled. So Square still going strong, as the NASDAQ, as the S&P 500, all of them looking at that 4,800, looking like they want to take a shot at that 4,800. So just the peak, to see what's above 4,800. From that point, they can decide whether it's going to be a trap move or it's actually going to be a nice little extension. But for now, it does like 4,800 is going to be a magnetic level. It's, well, I mean, it's a round level. It's kind of expected, but today seems to be the day that they want to approach it. So here we are creeping ever so slightly higher. NASDAQ now 100 points from that low that we put in. 16,449 quarter is a low on the NASDAQ futures. And here we are trading 16,547. So not almost a 100-point move from that bottom there, and NASDAQ goes up, Tesla goes up. I quickly took a look at, not Tesla, Apple, just to see where we were on Apple, were we getting any closer? Because again, Apple's one of the bigger names, right, in the index. Bounces off that 179, and here we are trading just north of 180. We're still about $2 away from making a decision. I mean, like, I'm not going to step into 180 knowing that from 180 to until 182 is going to be a problem. Oh man, ISIG, really? Or not ISIG, BIIB. Now I got to cancel this order. I'm not getting that fill.
With ISIG.
I'm not getting that fill. I might still get a fill on Square, but I think, damn it, on BIB. That was a read that I've had pretty much all morning. So that one's gone out the window. So frustrating.
Yo, shout out to Sean. Nice name, nice spelling there. Yeah, look, I mean, I'm not normally short Tesla. I mean, I'm you know, I hand it over to, you know, trader Brad likes to short, Neil likes to short. I like to short too. I like all the setups, but this is a frustrating one because, you know, the NASDAQ's starting to rip up there, and yesterday, you know, this is the thing. We keep talking about this name, but honestly, this is like a proxy for the market. So as this, there we go, we're out. As this continues to go to the upside, did I even get out there? Yes, I did. Ooh, good fill on that one. We actually got 830, and now it's back down, but we actually got 180.35 there. It blew up to 182 there. See, that might have been that wick top there. Like, now am I going to go short again on this because that wick just happened? Oh, man, Tesla, no friend of mine today, but there it is. So we're out of that Tesla short. We tried it one last time. I mean, one win early, and then, you know, the bulls just came in and was like, no, thank you. But do we try it one more time here? There it is, man. Just got taken out right there. That's not a good one, but that's fine. Now it's going to come back down. If this goes back down, 1076 right now, What, this job is so fun. But that's okay. It's only 1077. So we just lost there the $3, and now it's coming right back in. All is good, man. We still have the AMD short. That's fine. But just got spit out there at that 1080. Maybe now if we can retrace back up to there, that would have been a short. But that's that wick off top. But they happen all the time on Tesla. So it's very, very hard to say like that was the one. Because it also happened right here, right? And then it ripped up to the upside. So, 1076 just popping out. I wish we weren't out of this Tesla, but we are. My biggest hit of the day. Oh, well, that's going to happen. And but at least AMD now, Arun, starting to come back to the downside. That was just, sorry about that on Tesla. We took a shot there. I hope some of you guys are still short as this goes back to 1076 right now.
Yeah, and that's what we can hope for here. As we got closer to 4,800, obviously there's going to be some selling trying to play in front of that level. I can use this help here, maybe get me a fill on Square because I still want that long on Square here. I've given up on BIB. AMD, we're holding on. We kind of set that trade up, right? That trade's, we're not doing anything with this trade. We're either taking the hit at 149 and change, or this is going to go back towards 146. There's nothing else to do in between. It's an either-or situation. Anything else, if I step in, it's going to be a problem. I'm just going to mess around with my trading system and my approach to things. So I've done this long enough to kind of know when I should not be doing too much. And I think with AMD, we've made our decision, leave it alone. We can keep an eye on the futures, though. I keep mentioning this. 4,800 is going to be critical, right? If we take it out and stop, if we blow up the stops, if we take out the stops and come right back in, that's a problem to the downside. If we take out the stops, come back in, and then find more buyers, that's a good thing. That kind of confirms what you're seeing on the future side of things in terms of strength. Let me quickly flash over to the futures here as we get, there's not much there. There's 900 contracts at the moment right now, but I mean, you also don't know how much of that is hidden. Or not that you can hide it, but you can refresh fast enough to make it look like it's an iceberg order anyways. So here we are looking at 4,800 as a potential inflection point, I think is the word to use here. It'll say a lot on how this day is going to go, on whether we can stay strong above it or break down underneath it. For the most part, I've kind of canceled everything really. There's not a whole lot left. Netflix backed off that 620, so that's out the door. The potential trade from the 620 long, for now, it's been put on pause. Disney is still kind of mixed bag here, so I'm going to walk away from Disney here. BIB doesn't want to give me a nice little fill around 240. The lower it goes, the more the move has been made and the less of a probability for me to kind of capture that move. So for me, I'm going to walk away from BIB. I think for now, we're just going to hold that AMD trade and see if we can get our hands on a potential square position here if it comes down deep enough. And that's about it, really. Are we ready to go to Brendan, guys? Yes, sir. All right, let's go to Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, let's talk small cap world. One of those days where you have to kind of dial back your expectations a little bit, I think. Not a day to be trying to hit home runs. There's FTFT was up on blockchain news in the pre-market, came back pretty quick. 170, 175 was the top, was watching that. It did give you 140, 135 to the downside, trying to bounce right now. But volume already dying off a little bit on most of these, it's worth noting. This one from yesterday, CPOP, I was just using that support level from yesterday in the midday, which was around $3. It failed. Going into the open there for CPOP at 3, gives you 260 to the downside. It probably goes lower, but there's no volume on that one at this point either. And I'm trying to be patient with this RELI. Here I am saying, dial back your expectations, but I keep looking at this level from yesterday and thinking, you know, why can't we get back to 620 or so? It's stalling out right now at 7, but I mean, failed a couple of times up here at 775, 780, 750 was the recent pivot there. So we'll see. Gets through 7. There's a long way to go for RELI, guys.
Okay, I just have to reload. My stream just froze there, so I don't know if you guys are having similar issues, or hopefully not. If you are, please refresh like I just did, and now we can see the chat. Okay, so just quickly here, man, ISIG, not doing anything. AMD, again, Arun and I both in this short. We like this up until that 149-ish. We'll see if it can go. We're going to like sort of make our bed here and hope that the NASDAQ has just made that final move upside there, and we'll see what does happen. A good trade, though, on Lucid. for the day, up that nice dollar. You could see a good take on that one for us. So pretty happy with the way that trade panned out. We're waiting on Palantir to try to do something. It based out there at 1870. Let's see if it can get back to the upside right now. Wouldn't mind buying back here. It's dipped down a few times into VWAP, so like an 1850 or so, 1846 to be exact on my screen. I'm using a 1 minute chart right here, so that could be something as well. What's up, Knocked, right there? Nice little member for 13 months. Thank you so much. On IMTL website, there is no mention of an NFT platform. I smell BS. So IMTL, I think that was the stock that Brendan brought to us early about some NFT news. So we checked that out quickly here. That's not the symbol. We'll find out about what that symbol is, but IMTL there, we will look at that one again. SPY record highs. Yeah, trust me, I know that as we were shorting AMD and shorting AMD and Tesla today seems to be not paying off very well. But Palantir longs paying off. ISIG now 29 cents in the money, just back to taking out some of these levels. Maybe we'll just take $1, get out at 28.50 for half of this and not worry about 29. And then if we get going, then at least we have some on if that does go upside. So I'm going to park an order now right at VWAP here. Maybe not. Let's still wait for that 29. Let's just do that. Wait out for that one. 29 on ISIG. Hopefully that comes in. What's up, Bren?
So it was Integrated Media Technology Limited, which is IMTE, not TL. So IMTE, you can see announcing launching of an NFT trading platform, according to Reuters. Anyways, again, Integrated Media Technology, which is IMTE, guys.
All right, I quickly looked up at the chat, and Glenn Smith, you asked if I traded SMH. I do now. I looked at the daily chart. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a name that Sean's been talking about for a day. So when you mentioned it, I was like, oh yeah, Sean talked about this the other day. It's not something I had up on my list here of names, but SMH, based on the daily, the way it was setting up, I'm like, oh, that's a great risk reward setup anyways. So I am long here at 312.95 on average, and it's up 40 cents or so. So thank you for putting that in the chat at the time that you did, because it was at the perfect location for me to grab that trade. So what I'm looking at here, nice little, it's like a minor support area that I can work with around that 12 area, 1250, 13 area. So if I can catch a nice little setup, I did, the timing was great on that. So it was right there, and the 5 minute kind of just came through after a nice little sharp move into that little support area. Here we are, nice move right back in, right back above 13 and 1250. So why not take the shot here? The risk on this is about, I want to say about $3.5, $4, but we have the upside, right? The upside is going to be, I'm targeting like 317, 318. So that's a risk on this that I'm putting up to see what the upside is. But here we are, a nice little long on that. We're still waiting for the square position, and AMD still, doing its thing, right? Every time it bounces, it catches the bid. 146 is the level. It's still the level. Now, the way it's moving, it's starting to make me think that I got to slip that level a little bit further down. I was a little bit, I said 146. It's going to be in and around this price. That's where going to be the decision is going to be made. And we kind of went back and forth and kind of figured out where the buyers are. It seems like it's going to be a little bit lower, but that area seems to still be in play, at least from the daily side of things. So even if this trade loses, I can use that information for a future trade, knowing that around that area there's a general buy line waiting there. So we're going to keep an eye on AMD. Regardless of what happens today, AMD is giving you the information you need. That's the thing with losses, right? You're making your trading decisions based on what you see on obviously on charts, and which is historical information, and then you try to kind of amplify that information with what you're seeing on the time of sales. And sometimes being exactly precise is kind of it needs to be a little loosened up a little bit, because in this case, AMD, I was looking at 146. Although I was looking at the time of sales, I was willing to step in. I think now that I know this is going to be a loser, I could see that information being a little bit wider than I thought. It's not going to be just around 146. It's going to be bigger than that. So here we are waiting for that one. If in the event we lose, we know that 145.50 into 145 is going to be the new level we can work with on AMD. So regardless of what happens there, as the futures take off, the 4,800, we're getting closer. Okay, here we go. Yeah, okay, we're getting closer and closer, and now the size on 4,800 is getting bigger and bigger, 1,000 contracts. But the thing with the round number is 1,000 contracts can get taken like that. Like all it takes is about 2 people to take that out. One person if you're large enough. 2 people to take that out. and then stops go off, right? I think stops will start going off if we get above 47.01-ish. Then stops will go off, and then we kind of figure out what to do. Are we actually going to go, or are we going to fail? And I think at that point, it really makes a big difference. As the AMD pops, Square is not going to give me the fill that I wanted around that 165. And then SMH, which I just got into, is now up 66 cents. Ooh. So finally, a nice little winner to offset some of these losses. But again, I'm not too active today, especially with the kind of volume you're getting on this market. I came in today, I'm like, oh man, I don't have anything in the pre-market because there wasn't a whole lot. And then I'm surprised I'm even at 4 symbols right now. So here we are. AMD traded and SMH, you see those two active ones, and then CAT and ISIG were losers this morning.
Yep, we re-shorted Tesla, so we're waiting to get stopped out of that one as per usual on that one. And then, yeah, AMD, like, we just shorted another piece, and then we're going to be done, man. Like, honestly, we're not... You know, the day's not been good, that's for sure. Me and Arun have just talked about some of the trades that we've had on the negative side. But again, that's why, like right now I'm holding, I don't understand what's going on with DD, first of all. That stock is absolutely not moving whatsoever. We were hoping to get a little bit more on this one. Maybe we should just short, I was waiting for 05. That might be the breakout though. So yeah, really surprised, not surprised, but 11 million shares, just absolute stone cold chilling right now on DD. I still like the break. I still think we can, I don't know what that bump was all about. I still think that we can break and then head to the downside here on DD Global. So hopefully that'll pan out for us at some point. But this is just a nothing burger right now. We're just going to wait for that, see if that can do something on the downside. It doesn't look like it wants to. But this is why you got to sometimes have that back and forth play. Like we have Palantir on the long side, and we have the other two longs, ISIG and Rely. And then we did have Lucid, which is now starting to take out the tops as well. Which actually reminds me, let's go over now to Rivian here quickly. That was a name that we talked about yesterday with Randy on the show. A couple good, whoa, what's going on? Oh, I have to have this ellipse on here there. Yesterday, a couple good shorts into Rivian to end the day. We didn't take that very bottom there, which would have been good. But short, and then boom, down in. Made some money on Rivian. We got back and forth here. That was obviously an out, and then we re-shorted that. Kind of like what we're doing here on Tesla. That's not going to work again. But there's the short back into the downside right there. Pops up, reload, out. And then now today, big time pop up for Rivian, right? And so you're seeing about a 103.50 there. I'm interested on why that is fading out. Yesterday we had to pay for shorts on Rivian. So today, obviously, we may have to, not obviously, but we may have to do that again. Just looking here, though, I'm not really seeing anything. You know, Rivian's not going to follow the market as much as these other names. As you can see, it's up 3.5% today. I like Rivian. That truck looks super sexy. I think it's a good play. I think it's going to get bought up a lot. We talked about that, but right now, just on production side of things, like no one's even coming close to testing Tesla, right? So you're going to have to watch out for Rivian on any production notes. But hey, taking a stab at Rivian at $100 doesn't seem to be that unbelievable. We tested down to 88. Again, remember, in this year of 2022, you want to have profitable companies that actually have cash flow. And for right now, Rivian, although a huge order book, I really think the reason to buy these guys is the Amazon effect. And, you know, we'll wait to see if that can come through. They're not going to make a whole bunch of money on that, but I think it's going to give them the right PR and the right push forward. It's always nice to have daddy money bags behind you. So let's wait to see what Bezos has to say about Rivian coming through now. So anyways, that's Rivian. Looks like it wants to make a move to the top side. You do have that 103.50 topped out here. Actually, it's 104. Topped out back on the 27th, and then topped out here before we went to break on the 24th. So there is a little bit of high side here up to 107, but you do have a nice top at 104. So congratulations to anybody that bought Rivian the last couple of days. You have a good opportunity to get out of some if you want, but here we go. Maybe now moving back down to the downside.
All right.
I don't know, man. I don't know about this ISIG either. Ugh.
I kind of gave up on that one. It was doing absolutely nothing. I was like,
we could have took 50 cents on it, and then it just didn't do anything from that point. I mean, here's ISIG just dancing around where we're in, man. I'm going to take this one. If it blows below 26, then we gone. But I am going to put a 26.50 bid to average into this one. Just let's see if we can play some momentum. What's up, Mr. Wiggins?
People talking about this IMTE, guys, and a lack of evidence of NFT, anything related to NFT. Just take it for what it's worth, guys. This integrated media technology. There are all multiple sites picking up on that news story. So again, take it for what it's worth. This is probably more of the story. 6.6 million share float on IMTE. So tread lightly regardless. Let's get a quick check on how things over in Europe are shaping up. Miss V is watching. What's going on over there? What's up?
Hey Brandon, European markets are flat. Siemens Gamesa trading in Spain is up around 1% after reaching a supply deal for wind turbines in Sweden. Back to you.
As I say that, IMTE now halted, guys, to the upside. So there you go. Moving around.
Yeah, we're just discussing this AMD, and like Arun's kind of like given up on this name, and it is definitely not trading the way we had hoped it would here today. But at the same time, the reason why, like, let's just remember why we're in this name. Yesterday, big negative day into not that bad of a day for the NASDAQ. And then it just got faded out all afternoon. We had a big run up there, and then it just got hit again back in. That's 149.20. We topped out there, all at 149. So there is a little bit of resistance up there near that level. So is what we thought. But again, the NASDAQ takes off there. It absolutely takes off. And we said we wanted to short AMD into the market strength. So when you're doing that kind of trade, you are unfortunately, where's my 1 minute? You are unfortunately going to have to put up with some of these moves. And I hate it. I'm long AMD. I love AMD. You guys know that. It's one of my calls. We love the metaverse. We've been buying NVIDIA. We've been buying a lot of these names on any dip. So this is not to talk about anything about longer term trades. Arun and I sit here and we trade the market every day. We are flat at the end of every single day. So now AMD's coming back in. We're only short at 147.60. Like, I'm out of the money 40 cents now on AMD. You guys have seen me take $5 winners, $2 winners, $1 winner hits, wins on this name. So to be out 40 cents now isn't really a bother. It's been a great day for trade. The only thing that I've really felt, thrown around on here has been Tesla, and it really hasn't been that bad. Like, short and out, that short was out there, that short was out there, and now we'll wait to see if we get topped out at 184 again. That's it, so $1,084. Hopefully the market will retrace back down to VWAP here, and then we can cash out some Teslas in and around 1076, 1075 if we're lucky enough to get that bid. So we'll wait to see on Tesla, but we're short 181 right now, 1,081, and that's right where anybody can get it. So this is not a good trade to talk about. That IMT is halted, right? So again, I guess that's going to be news pending on that one. The last trade on this, I know you guys have talked about it, so has Brendan. Let me see, I'm just trying to put this over. 1032, so just halted right now. Should be the 5 minutes, obviously on the volatility, right there to the upside. Thank you for the super chat on NFT news, but I don't even know why NFT news would rally a stock so much. Like, you got to get the right NFTs and you got to get the right everything. So let's wait to see where IMT is going to open up. Right now, the theoretical auction price, I don't know if you guys can see this, it's pretty hard, but it's only $594. So it closed at $587. It doesn't look like the demand is going to be there on the open. $594 looks like it's going to be the open print on IMTE. So integrated media opening print looking at $594. And if it's 5 minutes, you're going to open up in a minute here. As right now, just a time check for you guys, it's 10:36, 12, 13, 14, 10:36, 15, so you guys can double check where you are with us on this one. Let's go Palantir. That one moving to the upside as well right now. That's a one-day range. You need the minute chart. Palantir taking out new day highs. So sometimes, we short different names, long other ones. This one's working out today for PLTR, guys.
Yeah, I'm still looking for some more names. Square, I think I pulled the order on Square. I'm not getting the fill. There's no chance. I missed the window for the fill. They got close. I don't even say they got close, but they got within 30 cents or so from giving me a fill. But it looks like Square wants to keep going. Here it is at 166.80 towards that 167. That trade is out the door. Canceled the order. So it seems like all the trades that I want to get into, I can't get my hands on. BIB missed, Square missed, no fill. But here I am with AMD on the short side and SMH on the opposing side here. And then Netflix just took out 620 again. Okay, maybe we can step into Netflix now. Okay, now Netflix, we were looking at 620 earlier, and it took a nice little move back down towards that 618. Now it's back towards that 620. Let's see what it does here. We've seen what it did earlier around this level. It kind of failed off a little bit here. If we can get some strength here, we can actually take a shot on the buy side on Netflix. So I am looking at potential longs on Netflix at the moment. if we do end up in position, it's probably going to be about I want to say like $4.5 in risk, somewhere south of 616. Exactly where, I will figure that out, but it's going to be dependent on how it trades around this 620 here. So we're going to wait for this one to kind of play itself out. Futures coming off a little bit. They tried again one more time, trying to take out that 4,800, and now backing off on the future side of things for 5 points or so. Here we are at 47.95. I mean, this is the market we're dealing with at the moment. So play them as you get them, right? That's all you can really do.
Yeah, I like that. There it goes. DD Global is going to get out in a minute there. We just tested right there 10s. We almost got taken out. I mean, I just can't wait, honestly, for the new year. Like, here goes Tesla again. We're $2 in the money again on Tesla. And it just keeps bouncing off these lows, man. Not lows, but off of this 1079. Like, we're short 1081 here. And we could take, we could have had $3 once. We could have had $2 like 3 or 4 times here on this move. But we're not taking it. Like, this could wind up like punching us in the face one more time as we wait for Tesla to come back in a little bit here, and it just doesn't want to do it. It keeps trying to go, but obviously the futures don't want to go back down either. So Tesla, we could take $3 there. Now that's 3 times now that we could have took $3 on this trade, and we haven't. So a little frustrating here for me on that name. And DD, there it goes. So this is going to come out. Breakthrough 510, we're out at 11. Again, I don't know if this is low volume or not, but DD today just wants to go upside. Very, very surprised at that. We'll short. And again, this is not going to be a big hit, but still a hit nonetheless. As DD, we're going to get out on this 510 break. Can't believe it's happening, so we'll get out on that one. And again, another trade that didn't work out for us here with DD Global coming back in. Good thing we didn't put too much risk on this trade. Let's go over to the big screen with Brendan. Everything's blue. Wish it started to turn red a little bit.
Hey guys, yeah, positive so far for the S&P. We'll show you how things are shaping up here. 0.2 to the upside, so not a huge move. That's Biogen, if you're wondering. Big red box here in the middle of the screen. That's pretty much it as far as negativity is concerned. However, the rest of the healthcare group in positive territory. I mean, every single name pretty much in positive territory, helping to offset that weakness coming through in Biogen after, if you missed it, Samsung Group saying, yeah, they're not interested in buying Biogen after that rumor yesterday. These are the communication stocks down here. Twitter having a nice day, 4% to the upside for Twitter. Viacom, Discovery, both of them here positive on the day. Dish even 2% to the upside. So communication services having a nice day, all in positive territory. Some of those real estate stocks in positive territory as well. Consumer discretionary names, though, leading the way as far as positivity is concerned. Some of the travel names back to the upside, even though we were hearing about more cancellations, COVID cancellations on the airline side of things. Some of the cruise lines and hotels are in positive territory, as are the retailers. There's Gap, eBay, Ulta Beauty as well, 2% to the upside, having a nice day as well. This could be part of the reason as to why Tesla is strong or stronger than most today. Look at GM. GM up 2.4, Ford almost 1%. So the rest of the automotive group in positive territory, helping to drag Tesla along back to the upside. Overall, though, 0.2 for the S&P, guys. Back over to you.
Nice move for GM there.
Yeah, we're looking at BABA. Somebody was asking whether it was. I don't have no clue. The entire area, entire space, all the Chinese names are moving fast, and all to the upside.
Can we get Brendan to get us that story one more time? Because yeah, some of these Chinese names. Go ahead. I was shutting out Brendan there.
Yeah. Somebody was asking about potentially fading this. I don't know if you want to step into the fade of round 121, 120. There's a lot of zones kind of stacked on top of each other in terms of sell side activity. As strong as this is. It's got, given the way that we move down, it's got a decent amount of space to the upside, because if it starts taking out one, it's just going to go to the next one. And then you really can't work anything from the short side either, because they're all stacked all the way, pretty much, it looks like all the way up to like 132. So there's a decent amount of space. If BABA decides to take off to the upside, it's going to blow up some levels. It probably breaks a trend line for some people as well. So that can push the thing even higher. So I'd be careful on shorting this. I think the initial move was, if you caught it early enough, if you caught that move right off the open, you were good across the board, right? You saw Lee as well, Lee and XPAV. I saw the names you guys typed out. I took a quick look at them. They all moved right off the top, right off the open. So here we are moving strong on Lee and BABA and whatnot. a lot of them are hitting resistance, so I'm going to stay away from fading this. If they break anything to the upside, like I feel like Lee has an opportunity to potentially take out this here. What is this? This is around 31 and change, maybe 31.50. Limited upside, but if we take that out, at least it sets something up that I can work with, right? So for the time being, here we are kind of, you know, working the upside move, waiting for the upside move on Lee. In the meantime, though, I've got my AMD hedged with the SMH. Here we are, at least the damage is being controlled a little bit here. SMH buy side up 85 cents, and then AMD position from earlier this morning is down 270. So we are hedging that a little bit here and catching that upside move on AMD. So, or not on AMD, on SMH on the semiconductor side of things. I imagine Micron probably took off as well. Let's take a quick look at Micron. Did it? Not as aggressive as these ones did, but Micron also up. A name that we were looking at yesterday because of that solid move up. And then here we are kind of drifting back down, hitting that little 93, it looks like 50, right? And then here we are at 94 and change. Not as strong as the other names, but here we are still looking at that just in case and kind of set something up. Maybe north of 95, we could get something, but for now, there's a no-go. And Netflix, we're still waiting on Netflix to kind of figure out what it wants to do with that 620.
I mean, a lot of runners here today, including NIO. We just talked about those Chinese names, like they continue to work, man. Wow, what a big move up here for NIO. And I see people on the chat talking all about NIO, but you can see it's been a rough 6 months, I guess, if we go all the way back to July here for NIO. It's topped out at 54, making that bottom at 28. I mean, it cut in half. You know, there's stocks that have been way worse than that. So NIO maybe made a bottom one more time here. Let's see if we can zoom this back out. Yeah, I mean, you have the bottom there at 31, but yeah, this is a good move to the upside. I think a lot of the fears with these Chinese companies, of course, is the delist, right? So we've already seen that with DD, and I don't think NIO or any of these companies will delist, but again, we'll have to wait for the new year to see if that does come through. Remember, we have Biden and the U.S. administration. I think it's, what is it, next week, or is it this week, this weekend maybe? They are planning on, it's not this weekend, going over and at least having a call with, if not in person, in China. I don't know if they're going to be going into China or not. I don't know what's happening with the travel plans, but there is U.S.-Chinese relations starting to build back up here as they want to talk about everything, right? So we'll wait to see if that can get going. Maybe there's some more positive news coming here from NIO sooner rather than later. And then you just looked at Li Auto, even XPEV as well, back up to 47. This is a name that we like, man. We trade this name often on the show, especially, that's still NIO chart, especially when there's action on this one. Again, that's the NIO chart. We'll see if we can load up the XPeng chart. And look, now Tesla's now back to flat. Like, it was just $3 in the money. There it is. So again, XPeng doesn't build the bottoms like NIO does, but you're starting to take out the 50-period moving average. This is maybe a little bit better, a safer play, because you didn't get the drop down that you did on NIO. But look at that, man, $80 getting blown out the top as well. All right, without any further ado, we're going to throw it back over to the big desk with Brendan and our guest of the day.
All right, thanks so much, guys. Yeah, we're sticking to the decentralized finance space, technology company specifically, and a brand new listing on the NIO exchange here in Toronto as of the 22nd. And I'm speaking of Liquid Meta. So happy to have Jonathan Weisblatt, President and CEO of the company, with us today to talk a little bit about, I guess, going forward into 2022. We'll keep the focus on what's to come because we are at the end of the year. It's great to have you with us, Jonathan. First off, congratulations are in order. As I said, brand new listing on the 22nd here in Toronto for Liquid Meta. Tell us about it.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us on the show. I'm a huge fan and really love to love watching all the content. So huge milestone for Liquid Meta. This year was a busy year setting up the company, deploying our strategy. I'd love to tell you a little bit more about it. And then our listing recently on NIO is one that we're very, very proud of. So let me tell you a little bit more about the business and about Liquid Meta. So the company was really founded because there was an identifiable gap in DeFi, decentralized finance, and the lack of access and participation for non-crypto native investors. And although total value locked, often referred to in the industry as TVL, it's risen from approximately $1 billion to almost $3 billion today. There's been very little participation from our analysis from traditional finance investors. There's, again, very little participation from traditional finance investors. And with 10-year bond yields trading at 1.5% and at historically low levels, TradFi investors, they're missing out on this generational opportunity to participate in this new and exciting asset class. So Liquid Meta, our mission here is to bridge the gap between TradFi and DeFi and to really provide access and automation to non-crypto native investors for DeFi.
And we'll touch on a little bit about the product and the platform itself because it's an interesting backstory here. But this is a company that's already profitable and already producing cash flow. Give us, a little bit of a story as to how something, has grown so quickly in such a short amount of time, as you mentioned. Very busy year for the company. How has it been able to get to profitability and producing cash flow so quickly?
Right. So let's focus on the P&L. So unlike a lot of DeFi companies in the market today, Liquid Meta has been focused on generating consistent and sustainable daily revenue and cash flow. So the business is really focused on using low cost of capital to deploy across an asset class that is returning really significant returns on capital. And we do this every day, 7 days per week, 365 days per year. We're going to be liquidity mining on New Year's Day. We were liquidity mining on Christmas Day, like I said, all day long, every day. And the most important component of the revenue growth and the cash flow generation of the business is its consistency and its low vol characteristics. So crypto overall has been a very volatile asset class, as you and your audience is well aware of. Bitcoin, the largest cryptocurrency by market value, has gone from a high of almost $70,000 per token as recent as last November to a recent price of just over $46,000 a token. This is a 30% decline in just over a month. Our revenues at Liquid Meta were very stable and very consistent over this period of time.
And let's talk about the team involved here, but I want to make sure we get back to some of the ways that people can get involved here because that data that you just mentioned, for example, is definitely very attractive when you go back and, as you said, look at what has happened in the overall market space in the past weeks and months. But tell us a little bit about the people involved here because we all know a product is only as strong as the team behind it. So give us a little insight into Liquid Meta's team.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is probably the greatest asset of our business are the people behind it. So let's start with one of the other co-founders of Liquid Meta and then the company's chief operating officer. His name's Nico Del Pino. Nico's a very strong background in fintech and crypto. He was a co-founder of one of the first cryptocurrency exchanges in Latin America, and he's been working with this group for several years. Nico's background is also extremely strong in fintech. He worked at a multi-billion-dollar NASDAQ-listed payments company with the focus on emerging markets, and was previously a director at a global company called Endeavor, which is a community for high-impact entrepreneurs. His network that was built at Endeavor is second to none. Our CFO, his name is Sandy Schorser. Sandy is also the founder and the president of Auxilium Financial Services, which is a full-service financial organization. He's a very strong CFO and provides Liquid Meta with all of the support required really for our recent public company launch. And then last but not least, our other co-founders and our strategic advisors are global crypto and gaming entrepreneurs. These guys, they provide Liquid Meta with an excellent industry oversight and access to market analysis and data. We're a deep team. We're only working harder to bring on the best talent in the industry, and we're working to grow the company and drive the best returns for our shareholders.
All right, let's give people a little bit of a look at the products here. If first off, any of the audience wants more information about what the company is doing and maybe to get involved themselves, tell them, where's the best place to learn more about this and what exactly are we talking about when it comes to some of the products involved here?
Right. So the core product offering is called the Meta Bridge. It's a product that's currently in development. Right now, we're building out the back end of the product base. We use that on a daily basis. It helps us to really monitor all of the transactions, the revenue, and the costs associated with the liquidity mining operation. The front end is the next step that we're building on the Meta Bridge. So right now, for Liquid Meta's first phase of growth, we are the only major customer of the product. The plan is in our second phase of growth is to start to offer this product upon its official launch to larger institutional investors that are very curious and interested about liquidity mining and our business. So right now, Liquid Meta, working the product, building the product, the first user of this product. We're going to build this in our own design and maximize its efficiency. Going forward for investors, prospective investors, those that really want to learn about us, we're a public company, so you can go and look at all of our public documents and filings on SEDAR, or you can visit us at our website at liquidmeta.io. There's tons of information up on those sites. You can also follow us on our Twitter handles and our LinkedIn profiles.
LIQD here on the NEO Exchange in Toronto. Brand new listing as of December 22nd of this month. Jonathan Weisblatt, my apologies, President and CEO of Liquid Meta. Pleasure. We look forward to an update in the future.
Thank you again.
Have a great day. Interesting story, interesting concept there, guys. Go check them out. LIQD on the NEO Exchange.
Yeah, great story there, and I just love how passionate these guys are, and like you mentioned as well, Brendan. There, it's all about having a strong team, and I think he laid it out quite nicely there about who they have on board, and that's what you want to look at, and just another opportunity heading into 2022 for many of you guys out there looking for get in on the sort of on the bottom front there of some of these names on the beginning of a stock. So right now. Yeah, Tesla's starting to come to the downside, man. I think about just taking this out. It's bouncing around. What we could turn our day almost right around here on this move. Tesla just bouncing off 1076 like all the time here, right into here. It just bounced again. So I'm going to sit around 1076 right now, see if we can get it out for $4 or $5. We're down here, down on the downside. One more swipe down into 1076. We're sitting on the bid. Hopefully that will pick us up, and we will ring the register there on this trade and then make back not everything, but really happy making back this $4 or $5 on this name. Does Tesla tank here? Maybe, but the NASDAQ, again, we don't really need to play these games. We can see what's happening. It's barcoding like this. So, I mean, the chance that NASDAQ breaks to the upside, I think, is almost just as good as it does break to the downside. So when we're sitting here in a profitable spot on Tesla, like we are right now, $3 in the money on this name right here, this may be a good opportunity if we can get a break back down below. I mean, I can just take the bid right now, but let's see if we can get about $1 more on this name, because we're in a spot. We have Tesla here. As long as this can come back down into this area, we'll take it. Sure, we'll be upset if it comes back to VWAP here and we give up that $3 or $4 extra back down to 1072, but at the same time, the market's not great volume here today, as you guys have seen, and the moves have been kind of sporadic. So when we have Tesla like this, if we can get a bottom test here, darn it, we'll take it. But right now, it's not looking juicy for that. So it's bounced off a couple times. Let's take a bid on Tesla if we can get it. And then hallelujah on this one. We just took a piece off of AMD as it came all the way back down. Bounced off 48 one more time. We took a piece out there, nothing, just a small piece. Let's see if it continues to work now to the downside. That's going to be Tesla and hopefully AMD here.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing with AMD, especially the way things are moving right now. I'm starting to see like a separation here between the SMH and the AMD. AMD is a lot weaker, so the spread between the two is kind of starting to close, or starting to open up a little bit. And now the net difference is only $1.34 or $1.30 something. So we are starting to see relative weaknesses in AMD as SMH is still holding up well for the time being. So this is kind of the way I'm going to have to play this game. It's going to be a damage control situation for me, at least for today anyways. The way things are moving, I'm not really getting in a whole lot of other trades. I'm not going to force them. Maybe if we get a futures position, we can do well there. But for now, we are going to have to just figure out how to do some damage control through AMD and SMH and how we're going to play this game.
Hallelujah.
What happened there?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Can breathe a little easier now. There's Tesla. So yes, sir. Finally, there it is, man. Oh my God. On a nice. Now you're gonna watch this thing just collapse. But there we go, man. The NASDAQ finally gives it back, and we just take it right there, $4.38 on that Tesla trade. So woohoo! We won't be too excited because again, we still are net negative on Tesla today. But that saved a lot there. Like we almost got stopped out at 1084 right there. Thank God we put it a little bit higher than that. But there it is. There's the out on Tesla. So yeah. Wow. That finally worked out. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to hit a make money thing because some of you that have been shorting this probably out here. But I'd take that out. We'll take that bid. It's a very, very small hit. And I think I don't know if somebody, small hit on Tesla overall today, because again, if you look at this is 350, right? And then we take the short again at 1066, get out at 1072. So like that's $6. So we're down a little bit more there. And then we short at 76. This was a bad one, out at 80, so that's 4. So we're down about like $7 there on Tesla. I mean, it'll show at the bottom, whatever the math is. And then there we're short at 181 and out at 76.44, 450 back. So I think probably net to net, it was different sizes, so this is why it's going to be hard to explain exactly how much we're down. But what does it say there? Oh, those are just my positions rolling through. Okay, it will show you the net, but probably down $3 to $4 on Tesla. So again, depending on your share size, it's not going to be a good day for Tesla trading, but hopefully it can come back to the downside. Anybody that's been averaged into the short, and if you had this long off the open, that's an absolute. I mean, first of all, the long off the open was wrong. It tanked all the way down and didn't start to go until about 9:42. But there's the move right back to the upside. I wish all of these were longs, not shorts, but we'll cash out on Tesla and watch this go back down. So we've made back, like right now, we were down, we've made back a third of what we were down just in the last 10 minutes on this NASDAQ move down, including a beautiful move back down here for AMD, which was just all unrealized losses. So we'll see where this can go. I'm targeting VWAP for a nice little out. Wow, it's 10:58 already? What even happened today, Arun, to this day? Let's go to Miss V. When we're ready, we'll go to Miss V, but we need to get the likes going as well. I think we had a great guest today. Let's go. Get down, AMD. If we can wind up making, are you still in this?
I'm still in this.
If we can wind up making money on this move here for AMD, that is like a Christmas gift in itself right now. What's up, Miss V?
Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day so far and staying in a profitable territory. As Sean mentioned, guys, we need just 300 more likes to get 2,000. I can hear Randy super excited about National Day. Wait a little bit. And yes, guys, so please don't leave without giving us a like. Please join Prad and me to keep trading at Market Movers. And happy National Bacon Day.
Bacon.
Oh, okay. I was like,
that.
Randy's over there like losing his mind, and me and Arun are looking at each other like, we can't. It's tough for us to hear Valeria and Brendan to begin with.
Yeah.
And then I thought she had said something, and then all of a sudden it was like boom, and then bacon. You can't go wrong with bacon. I don't even have to ask you, do I, Arun?
Not at all.
Right. So bacon, multiple thumbs up. Brendan, bacon.
All day, every day.
Valeria, bacon.
Of course.
Of course, so there it is. Good day so far. Really happy with the way this day is actually turning out right now. Obviously, you're seeing AMD try to go to the downside. You're seeing Tesla breaking even lower than where we got out. Let's see about this NASDAQ looking like it wants to get back to VWAP. Wow, can't believe that is actually making money for us now. We're almost in the money now. Even with that out, we're almost in the money on this unrealized position now. We were in the money on realized, but almost net-wise as well on AMD as that's starting to work. ISIG, we held out for that. It's starting to go back up to the upside. Maybe we take this out right here. Now VWAP's only at 30, but let's go ISIG. Yes, sir. What a great way to end the day. We've made back half of everything we've lost already, just in like the last 10 minutes. So a big move back upside here. Let's cash out some more ISIG. What a great day it's been. No earnings, right, Brendo? Yeah, very few stuff happening. Any last words of wisdom here, Mr. Arun?
Not at all. Just be careful on trading like days like this, guys. The volume starts to get a little worse as we get through the day, and then we might get a nice little spike towards the end after 3:30 or so. But that's what we're hoping for. Just be smart about how you're trading throughout the day. Control your damage. If you don't need to trade today, don't trade today. That's my advice. If things aren't setting up perfectly, just avoid the situation.
Remember, we're long 27.68 here on ISIG. I just offered 45 and it ran away. So hopefully this can just rip up through 28.45, which is where I'm sitting right now on ISIG. We'll see if it can take that out. But so far, so good on this trade. A lot happening in the market. Market Movers is going to be a banging show as per usual. So let's throw it over right now. Let's go AMD. Oh, yeah. Let's go now to Ms. V and Trader Prad. Let's go.
Welcome to Market Movers. I'm your host, Trader Pratt. This is the beautiful Miss V.
Hey guys, welcome back everyone. Just one day left until New Year. Happy New Year's Eve, guys. As usual, please be active on the chat. Ask us anything. We would really appreciate if you like this video. Right now, let's get those